Okay, welcome back to a podcast Orange. My name is Jack Siegel. I am very excited today because we have a special guest, someone who I've known for quite some time, and he wants to tell his side of the story. So I guess Jack. I should introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Matt Gaetz. Congressman Gaetz, I have a question. Why did you choose to pay those underage prostitutes with Venmo when everybody can see your Venmo? Why not use a more discreet method like paying in cash?
Well, I thought it was like Snapchat, where it just goes away after like 8 minutes.
Dude, people can see your Venmo that you've never even met.
But come on.
You labeled it just
Venmo's
business?
totally safe. That's where I always bought all the drugs.
What business? You labeled it just business when you What business would you have with?
I don't know. How do you know there's not a business that I need $350 in one night for, like at 3 a.m.? How do you know?
Because
you don't know shit about how I run things.
I do.
And you don't know your own name. How did you introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, I introduced myself as.
You introduced yourself as a dead man.
I'm mourning the loss of Jack Siegel.
Yeah, and you're having tremors, I guess, and you're thinking you're him.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Why do you think? Do you think I want that fuck back?
I'm losing my mind here in quarantine.
Yeah, this is a terrible impression on our actual guest.
I think it's a pretty good impression. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
it's
pretty the exact what I'm expecting. Yeah,
so it's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight on a podcast,
James Raniolo.
James Raniolo, comedian from Long Island. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
All right, thank you for having me.
From Long Island.
Shouldn't this be a web series, Orange?
Yeah. Well, but then the flow of you got to think about it like it's hip hop. You know, the syllabes like.
Yeah. There's some
podcast Orange, a web series Orange.
It just doesn't flow
the
same way. Just being a smart ass. Listen to your previous guests.
Yeah. You just want to suck Brandon's dick. Don't worry, we all want.
Brandon's talking.
I've already been on his podcast and I've already hosted one of his shows. I've paid my dues.
I have done my dues.
Yeah, now you get to have fun. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can rest on my laurels.
Yeah. Fuck you, Brandon. You don't know what you're talking about. Who do you think you're talking shit about saying our podcast is not a real podcast?
I mean, we aren't on Spotify. It's a good point.
Who gives a shit? Spotify is run.
Right,
Spotify is run by the Jews, man. You know?
Jack Simmons.
Sorry, that's Jack Simmons.
This mouth of yours.
That's Mr. Simmons talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's your father.
Sometimes he comes out.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's
beating your ass at night. What, did he dress you up like a girl and to call you a girl? Did he call you Susie?
No.
Did he call you Susie Simmons?
No, but he called me J.K. Simmons. and then he like made me write the Harry Potter books because that was J.K. Simmons.
I mean,
I know.
I'm kind of. Were you more transphobic than the
real
real one?
I would get it. That's J.K. Rowling.
All right, enough of this ridiculousness. How are you doing, James? It's good to see you, man.
I mean, see you guys too.
What's going on with you these days?
Not much. Just been hitting the mics very, very, very hard.
Who you banging?
Very hard.
What?
Who you banging?
But I'm banging One-Eyed Jack.
Yeah, you and Billy are gonna fucking back next to a dead rat.
It was so vile.
That story is kind of like, it's funny because you came up to me, and here's the thing, I like to think I'm not a pussy, but you just came up to me and I was like 2 beers deep and you're just like, Tom, there's like, I don't know how to say this, but there's a massive dead rat outside. Is there any way that you can get rid of it?
Exactly.
And I was just like...
I know. So, dude, it was so gross. And, like, that story killed when I told it, and then I wanted to tell it again, because I was just like, I had nothing new to say. But the owner was at the bar that night, and I didn't want him hearing stories about rats in his backyard. You know? I was like, he didn't need to be hearing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So if he wanted to bad enough, he would have seen it all on camera. But
how big was this rat?
Dude, this thing looked like that water bottle. Dude, it was huge. Dude, it looked like a tube sock stuffed with cake batter.
Gross.
And it was next to the Popeyes thing. So this thing just died, like ate itself to death. And just food comb it out onto the Jack slot and just keeled over.
It was literally on its last leg. Could you imagine?
It was so
you live a
gross.
You live a full rat life. You know, you battle cats for survival. You fuck a million rats. Like, produce a million rat children you never know exist.
Just to be hated by society.
Just to walk your last steps in the back of One-Eyed Jack's. And just collapse there.
Your last... And then Zach Zorvich desecrates your body and throws it into a fucking dumpster. Like,
over my car, by the way. He threw that dead rat over my car, and granted, my car's not nice. But I was talking to Billy outside. I was like, if that thing landed on my hood, on the hood of my car, I would have got out of the car and been like, Zach, you are paying to have this fucking car detailed. Exactly. Not washed. So gross. Detailed.
Yeah, just gave me the fucking plague. Ugh. So
imagine that rat's last thoughts was... So anyway, I've been on Tinder recently. That's how the rat dies.
The rat died doing a premise. Like, the rat's just like, so I was watching the news the other day. If I knew there was a shovel, I might have done it. It was the idea that, like, somebody had to have the balls to, like, put, like, a plastic bag around their hands and, like, feel the shape of a dead rat and, like, carry it. That might be the limit of where I become like a pussy.
No, that's the thing. There's very few things that really like gross me out and skeeve me out. And dead rats are one of them. Dead baby birds that just fall out of a nest.
Oh yeah,
they got those big eyes.
Dude, dead birds in general. Like
raccoons, I can't stand raccoons. They gross me out. I won't. I'll call a real man to take care of that. Like I don't. Fuck
it's like
that.
James, did a raccoon do something to you back in the day? Show me on Jack Simmons where the raccoon touched you.
Dude, there's like
touch you here.
There's like raccoons right out that are like right outside my front yard that live like, and sometimes I'll go home and I'll see just a big fat fucking like I saw this ginormous fat fucking raccoon that was like waddling its ass.
Jack, I mean, I know you're the new co-host, but the fat shaming. Style it back a little bit. You know. A lot of people listen to this show.
Well, I yelled at
28 total, so...
A lot of them are fat.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with being fat, but that raccoon shouldn't, you know. So I yelled, I did fat shame that raccoon. I yelled at it. I was like, dude, lose some fucking weight, you fat piece of shit. And then I knew the raccoon wasn't going to attack me either. Because it's like fat.
It's like all out of shape.
It's not coming at you, no.
I just kicked it like a fucking soccer ball.
Oh, gross. I couldn't even do that.
The thing with raccoons is they're so weirdly like humans. Like, I remember, here's the thing, over the pandemic, I got into a bad habit of, like, getting fucked up outside. Like, and I would just pass out outside. You know what I mean? Like, just drinking and smoking weed next to a fire. Right. And I'm like, literally, I just open my eyes and it's like all fuzzy. I check the clock. It's like 3 a.m. I just hear, like, this rustling, like, to the side. I look over to my pool, which is, like, 10 feet away from me, and there's just two massive raccoons right there. They looked at me, they're like, oh, that motherfucker's out. He's fine. Like, we're just going to do our thing. And then I was like, oh, shit! And they were like, ah!
Dude,
they ran away.
Noises. They got, like, human hands.
Yeah, and they go like...
After I scared them off, they ran up into the tree, and I was like looking at them like, are they gone? And I just see these two little heads like poking out of the tree. Look, it's like, is this a video game?
Like, piercing eyes. I'm used to seeing them crawling out of like the sewer. You know what I'm saying? Like the sewer grates, and they got like those like fucking like red bloodshot eyes, like a dagger.
They're always staring at you. Like,
they got a dagger in their teeth, and they're just staring at you like, make a move.
I'll fucking kill you,
exactly.
As long as you see them at night, you're good though. I've heard if you see them during the day, they might be rabid.
That means they're rabid, but they don't really approach. Like, they're weird. Like, you wouldn't want to approach one anyway. Like, I remember we saw one, I forgot what the hell we saw, it doesn't matter. But it was literally just, like, hunched over, making this, like, other godly noise. It was like, people were like,
demon.
They wanted to try to feed him or whatever, but you didn't want to get anywhere near this fucker thing.
Yeah, no.
It gave every nature warning, just stay away, dude. Look at me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like I'm trying to make myself
I'm not even supposed to be out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm, like, tripping balls. I'm just out here. You know, like, they're not supposed to,
Yeah.
I actually saw... I had this like standoff with this raccoon. I remember one time after a mic, I came back.
Jack Simmons versus the raccoon.
Like the good, the bad. No, it was like I came back from a mic and like late at night, and this raccoon like it saw me coming to the driveway, so it was like, oh fuck, I gotta go back to my house or whatever. You know, and then like, so I get out of the
raccoon house.
They have like, they have like their house in the backyard or whatever.
Their house.
They call it a house.
The raccoon's like, shit, I gotta make sure I have my keys.
They call it out. Anyway, so this raccoon like got on its hind legs and like I was just looking at it, and it was looking at me, and then we were both like, "What's gonna happen here?" And so I just did like the flashing lights. It's like, and then the raccoon's like, "All right, motherfucker," and just I'll walk off.
They're just flashing lights at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably pretty scary to a raccoon. Like, that's like alien technology.
Like, what's going on? My brain hurts.
Like, could you imagine if you saw an alien, you're like, should I go up to it? And it just started flashing a light at you and be like, I'm gonna not.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a meal out of this garbage.
For real, it's not even.
What's your stance on aliens, James?
What about him?
Do you want to fuck them?
Yes.
That's basically like, all right. That's basically
Yes.
the themes of the show. All right,
Yes.
basically, what do you think about aliens? Do you want to fuck them? Do you want to do heroin with them? Like that's basically fucking.
Do you want to fuck
Do you want
them
to
or
fuck
do
an
you wanna
alien?
do it?
It's
Do you
like
wanna
fuck,
do
marry,
drugs?
kill.
Fuck,
It's
marry, kill. Aliens.
It's like,
Wait. Hold on. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck.
Aliens, pirates, cowboys.
Raccoons. Let's go. Yeah, I
seriously though, fuck, marry, kill. Aliens, pirates, or raccoons?
I would kill the raccoons. Definitely kill the raccoons.
I would probably.
I would totally marry.
I would
a pirate.
totally fuck an alien. Yeah. And
I mean, I would
and
marry
a pirate. Get on that lifestyle.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I was like, I'd be
Yeah.
a pirate. I'd be a first
pirate.
mate.
Yeah. I'd
Plus,
be like, yo,
the thing is,
I'm
whether
here. Let's go raid some ships.
plus the thing is, no matter which option you choose, the pirates are gonna fuck you. You know what I mean? They're pirates. Like that's what they did. But
Yeah,
people forget, people romanticize pirates. It's like, pirates,
Oh,
but it's
they
like,
were fucking.
what they
They were
did
like
was-
criminals. They were fucking
yeah, they would
insane.
just sail the seas, jump
Imagine
on
people-
boats, and like rape people. And
Many
steal
people
things.
romanticize like Somalian pirates hundreds of years
Exactly.
ago. They're like,
What do
we
you
gotta
mean?
dress up like Somalian pirate. They like
What
have
do you
a
mean?
team.
I saw Captain Phillips. Yeah, that movie is like.
That movie's great.
It's good, but it's like it is kind of like the villain is just like the blackest guy ever. Like
Oh,
they
yeah,
really,
really.
they
The villain
really
are the
found
blacks.
The blackest.
The way they end it too
guy.
is they just shoot all of them. They're like, all right, he's saved. We just killed all these. Fuck him. And then like that's the end of the movie.
Like, dude, it's almost. I wonder what
That's a
the
great
cast.
movie though. Paul Greengrass directed
It's a good movie.
it. He made
I'm not gonna
Born
shit on the
Ultimatum
movie. It's
and
good.
United
What's funny
93.
about like pirates though is when you look at like your classic like pirate stories, like even like you go like the Pirates of the Caribbean was like late 1600s to 1700s, kind of that kind of era. So it's like that's just how people dressed. So even when they were, so even like a pirate dressed like a commoner, no matter what, they had the same kind of outfits. They just got nicer versions of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it would be like if they had pirates now, like they would that's why they would look like that. They'd be wearing like tracksuits.
Could you imagine
You know what I'm saying? It'd just
Could
be
you
like,
imagine suburban like white boy pirates? Like they're just wearing baggy jeans.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
baggy t-shirts. Like
Wearing Converse
just like
sneakers.
they're just
on a
riding
boat,
the-
like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they
they're
have no
riding-
fucking like it's exactly.
They're
Yo,
riding
what
their
up,
dad's
bro? We're
yacht.
gonna fucking take your ship. They would be like on Snapchat, like, yo, we're stealing this ship. Right?
Yo,
Rape,
we're
pillage,
hijacking
plunder,
this
bro.
shit, bro. Where's the
Hashtag rape and pillage. Hashtag steal your gold.
We're hashtag treasure chest, bitch.
Hashtag your ship is my ship.
They're literally just on a yacht that they stole from one of their fathers, and they're just like doing this to
See,
fishing
exactly.
boats.
Exactly.
It's like you're just like out fishing with your family one day. You're like, it's such a beautiful day. What's that?
Like you ever see like it was like they're making like you ever see those videos of like people getting caught recording in front of other people's like Lambos and shit, like they make it look like they're like filming like a music video or something. Like some guy's got like a fucking like he's got like he's got like a Maserati, he's got something fucking insane, and like it's off in the parking lot by himself, and like this like rapper and his hype man and a camera guy just run up to it real quick, and they spin a quick bar, and then they like run off to act like.
That's really funny though. It's like, could you imagine like
This is my
if
car.
you were like walking up to your car after a long day of work and you just saw like 4 black dudes like pointing guns at a video
Exactly.
camera.
Yeah. Are you fucking
You're just like-
serious right now?
It's like, I guess I have to wait to go home today.
Like, excuse me, sir, can you move your gun?
Sir, I didn't exactly agree to the use of my vehicle for your music video.
That's the thing is that
Let's be civil about this.
If I can be honest with you, I would have been like, "Yo, need a hype man." Like,
Yeah, right, I'll be like,
you
"Yo,
can get
I'll
in.
be
Like,
the
yo,
video."
you can get in. What are we doing? We shouldn't. Like, how?
Honestly, that'd be the best possible thing you could do is ask to be in the video. It's like, yo, guys, this is my car, but
Yeah.
like, I'm
Like,
cool
for
with
real.
it. Let me be in it. Please don't beat me up.
You know, Lil Dicky.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Lil Dicky.
All right. Do you know the whole story behind the Save That Money video?
No.
Okay, so if you watch the the music video, the song "Save That Money" is just all about just being a cheap Jew. Like that's all he talks about. Like it's like in the background, it's just like I'm Jewish. Like it's ridiculous. It's all about saving money. Like all these different fucking things, right?
I can't relate.
And like the video is just him in front of like all these different places, but there's this whole like the video is almost a making of the video because he goes to like all these different places in the Hollywood Hills, and you can see him just at like the gate, just talking. He's like, "Hi, my name is Dave. I'm a rapper. I was wondering, can we just like use your driveway? Can we use your can I just use your stuff to on location, whatever, for free?" And some people said, "Get the fuck out of here," and some people were like, "Yeah, go right ahead." So, and it was insane. So the video is a making of the video.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, like a condensed version, but there is an actual 30-minute making of the video. Of him just like, and he has like
just
his
like
entourage
walking
with him
around and like asking.
Yeah, he just literally walking around the Hollywood Hills. Like he would see
that's pretty legit though.
He would see like an orange Bentley in someone's driveway and be like, "Yo, can I record in front of your car?" And they'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here." It was like private security. Sometimes he'd come down and be like, "Go away." You know,
honestly, I've done similar shit in comedy, and like the thing is like, it's when you do stuff like that, sometimes you're not like it doesn't always work out the best. Here's the thing. Here's some like this is a funny story. Like, you guys remember when I made that promo for that show where Chris Deshawn beats the shit out of me? You don't. You never saw that promo? Alright, whatever. So I made this video for a promo, and like it's like a joke video where like this dude just like beats my ass in the video. It's like, yeah, comedy show. You know,
gotcha.
You should watch it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I think I remember that actually.
Yeah. So basically the story of making that video is like we were trying to find spots to shoot, and you know, you're in Manhattan, and you know, in your mind you think, yeah, you could just go anywhere, but then you look around, it's like you really can't. Like, some spots it's like it's kind of awkward, there's mad noise, or like, and then, you know, some spots it's just not the vibe. And like, you know, somebody got the idea in the group, like, we should get, like, a shot of the front of the Comedy Cellar.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we were like, all right, yeah, we can go over there and walk over. But, like, when we walked over, like, literally, like, all those comics were, like, sitting there. This was still during the pandemic, but, like, I saw, like, Ari Shaffir and, like, Norman and, like, Big J. And, like, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, I was like, maybe this is the best idea.
You pushed out?
No. We filmed it. Like, we filmed, but they kind of bugged out. Like, I think I heard Norman go, like, what's going on? Like, this is a little weird. And I was like, I was walking away like, I'm the biggest fucking asshole. Like, why did we do this? Like, it wasn't even fully my idea. It was like a collective idea between me, Manny, sorry to throw you under the bus, Manny, and like Chris, you know, I mean, it's not like a big deal,
he's like,
whatever, but like, you know, it was just like a funny experience because it's like, you think that's fine, you're like, yeah, let's just film the front of a comedy club, but then all the talent is sitting out there, and then maybe like the club owners, and like, they're kind of like, well, what the fuck is going on here, and then you're like, oh, like, this is...
That happens a lot, like, that happens a lot in L.A., where everybody that's like, because everyone wants to be like an internet celebrity now in LA.
That's the thing. We look like fucking influencers. I feel like shit about it.
So like, but like they'll get like rich people to like really rich executives or whatever be like, can we borrow your mansion? Like it's become like a big thing now. Like they'll be like, yeah, fucking, you know, even comedians that do YouTube stuff. Like what's his face? The you know, who's that guy that you guys like? Tim Dillon.
Oh yeah.
He has like rich friends, or like he'll just he did that skit in the Hamptons.
Yeah, like, did a bunch of people we know, and maybe even you guys included.
Yeah, Renee and Bergen,
they
and
did that something at like some house
in like the Hamptons, right? And you know somebody he probably just like you can
Well, yeah, he just basically I don't know how Renee got that connect, but supposedly somebody like I think it was like Chris Barnes actually, like just sent Renee the message like, yo, like, you know, if you want to do, like, this video with Tim Dillon, like, we're just going out here and, like, just going out east on the island. Like, yeah, it was, it's awesome that they got to do that. But that's, like, better than what happened to me. What happened to me sucks. Like, because I'm like, we weren't trying to film that. Like, I didn't think they would be there. You know what I mean?
Like, you got to say, you weirded those guys out, though. You know?
I mean, that's the thing. I get to say that I definitely creeped out, like, some of my favorite comedians of all time. But like we didn't. We were
some
thinking,
of your favorite comedians of all time.
Well, guys? Not like all. I mean, Norman is definitely up there for me. Big J has been up there for me for a while. I don't know about
I don't
Ari.
think he's that great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, fuck you, Jack Simmons. You've only been alive for like what, a week?
Yeah, but I already,
What, were
I
you
already
born
have
yesterday?
but I still
Bro,
have
he's
better.
literally
I
like
still have better taste.
186 hours alive.
What do you?
Who's your favorite comedian?
Tom's
Bill
trying
Maher?
to get a spot. That's why he's
Yeah.
sucking up to Mark Norman.
Yeah, I gotta go back to the cellar.
He's
and be
trying
like,
to get
"Hey."
an opener. Fucking.
No, I mean the truth is, it's like
Not me.
I
I just
didn't
tell
even-
like it is. That's
I didn't
Jack
even think they
Simmons.
would be there. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
I was
right.
like, it's the pandemic. The club's probably.
I thought they
like,
would be on
dead.
Epstein's Island.
You know, it'd be funny. It'd be funny if like it'd be funny if the club. It'd be funny if the club was closed and they were just hanging out there anyway because they had nothing else to do.
I mean, that
you know,
could
you know
have
what I'm
very
saying? Like,
well
imagine the
been
club.
it, yeah.
It was just the cellar was just closed. That's why they were outside of it.
They could have very well been the case because they, as far as I know, they weren't doing like virtual shows or anything there. So they may have literally just been sitting out there because like
just
the
hanging
club
out.
owner was like, "Fuck it, you guys can hang out here." I don't.
Or maybe
care.
they're
Like,
just hanging out because fucking it's the summertime. Let's just hang out. What do you?
Yeah, it's like the
Place,
pandemic.
yeah.
We're not working. Like you know what I
let's
mean?
Fucking
Like,
go,
yeah.
hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we do sometimes. We'll just hang out.
It was it was quite a thing. But still, we made the video and
I
we
used to
only.
imagine those guys standing like the people in King of the Hill, just like one after another, just like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
drinking
like Jay and Silent Bob. They're just hanging out in front. Like they're not
Yeah,
really
just
doing it. They're
like-
just standing there.
just loitering. Just like, you know.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's interesting, like what you do, what you sacrifice for like entertainment. You know, you're like your dignity.
I mean, some people do.
Not me.
You know, Jack Simmons is pure. But,
I sacrifice my dignity on Twitter sometimes. I'll admit it.
like how?
I don't know. I'm just like people will just. You know, people just talk about, like, anything, and, like, you just get riled up because people are saying, like, the exact opposite of what you think is, like, the truth, and you're like, I have to chime in, and then, like, and then
And
you
you fall
chime
down
in,
the
and then
rabbit
you're like,
hole of,
and then
like-
you're like, oh, why did I even do that?
Ah,
You
so
know?
that's why you gotta. It's like trolling is. You gotta troll instead. You gotta.
That's what I
Yeah.
try
You
to
gotta
do.
do the predictable. Like you gotta do the thing where it's either where to most people it's an obvious troll and they don't bite, but the ones that bite. Oh boy, you got it.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm
that's-
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you gotta do. It's that philosophy of you throw enough shit against the wall, some of it's gonna stick. The same thing. You can clearly you give a totally
This is great.
predictable cut and paste. Almost anybody can see through it kind of thing. But
Yeah.
they wait for that one person to be like, "Are you serious right now?" You know what I'm saying? Like you know
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like
And I've had people, like, I forgot one thing I tweeted, I don't even remember, but somebody was just like, some girl just retweeted me, like, where do I even begin? And I
You
was
should have been
just
like, you
dude,
should
I
have been like
just-
on the tip, and then you work your way to the shaft.
yo, you need a Ghost Rider. You-
Yeah, right. Oh, it's way better.
Jack
than-
Simmons can be your fucking your social media guy.
That's way better than what I actually did. I don't think I said anything. I think I just bitched out.
So you start on the tip and you work your way to the shaft.
Yeah, work your way down to the base of the nuts. go until you feel pubic
Or you could have went
the
the route of you start the sink and you work to the dishwasher.
Yeah, you start-
Either, but that wouldn't have been as good.
It's like you start in my bed and you end up on the floor.
So wait,
Oh,
what
man.
is so?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Great.
this is a feminist podcast.
Clearly. Yeah, clearly. No, I was just thinking. So I was listening to actually today because what a nerd fanboy I am. I was like, oh, T, I'm gonna be on the podcast. I'm gonna catch up on an episode or two because it has been. I heard the Dana one, the Brandon, the Devin one. And
Oh
then
yeah. the
I
devil
think I started the Brandon one, but like because it was like 10 minutes in or whatever it was, but I was just kind of listening through it. But somebody, one of them, I just fucking said his name, but whatever. One of your guests was talking about how his girlfriend had a sore throat, and he was making it all about COVID, and you were like, well, there's other holes. Like, I almost fucking, dude, like,
Damn, I
I
don't remember.
cackled out loud. I was just like, because it was just like, well, there's other holes. Like, where are you going with this?
Who
I think it
even
might-
was that? Oh.
Sorry, guest, that you're.
I think that
if
might
you're
have been
listening. You're
Brandon.
well aware of what I'm talking
I
to.
think that might have been Brandon. Actually.
Yeah, because I can't think of many other
Let's
guests.
throw
we've had.
names out there. Yeah, it was Brandon. I don't know.
Probably-
No, yeah, it was probably Brandon.
Because he's the only one that has like a girlfriend. Well, actually, Bergen does. But
This was the Valentine's Day special.
Oh, it was Brandon.
That was
yeah,
that
it
was Brandon on
definitely
Valentine's Day. And, yeah.
I mean, it's like you don't have to worry about outing him on an episode that had already happened to him on.
yeah, I know, but it was just like I'm gonna end up talking mad shit about people I know personally here. Like, and I'm fine with it.
Which is totally okay.
I'm totally fine with it. You know what I'm saying? But I just
Who do you want to go for? I mean, fuck it. Let's go down the list. Bergen, Dom.
I have
Jim Raya. I mean, who do you want? Anybody?
I have nothing bad to say about Dom and Margaret at all.
No, of course.
And anything bad I have to say about Andrew Bergen, I tell him to his face pretty much every time I see him.
Right.
So I feel like we're. I feel
like, don't you just want to like squeeze his fucking head? Fucking Andrew. No, I mean, here's the thing. I love Bergen, and I've said this before. It's just he's such a smarmy fuck. You know.
Well, that's the thing. All right. So he. Whenever Steve Roccovillo's birthday thing was, that roast thing, I don't know if you guys were there for that, but
I was there for actually I was there for both the last.
That's right.
ones,
You were there for the roast. You were there for the okay.
Yeah,
that roast. So that roast, Bergen had a roast joke about me, and the roast joke was basically like, you know, you're a constant reminder that if I don't get my shit together, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's going to happen. He's like, between the heart attack and this and that, you're a constant reminder, whatever. And nobody laughed but me. I howled, and I went, don't be me, bro. And nobody laughed, and we're like, all right, whatever.
Damn.
We went outside, we both looked at each other, locked eyes, started laughing hysterically. You know what I'm saying? So that was so, but then, like, the other day, he had mentioned something about, like, never graduating college or whatever, and I was like, again, me, never, whatever. So I went up there, and I said, basically, you know, just another example. If you don't get your shit together, you're going to be me.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. I was once
I
basically said I was once an arrogant little shit who thought I was smarter than everyone in the room, too.
Yes, I was there.
It's okay, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I was like clapping because I was just like, yes, tell him. Like, I mean,
you know, like, it was just,
you gotta keep it real, you know.
And I'm not gonna lie, Bergen has a reason to be arrogant. He's very good, but he
can back it up 100%. And it's one of those things where he also hit me with something. Also, like, so I've been doing this. I'm like 3.5 years. So I do this thing on my, like, the week of my, like, anniversary. I go back and I find all the bits and jokes that didn't get any laughs at all, that just bombed. They were just absolute shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I do them for a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, last year, I did what I considered was my first set. Like, I basically did my first set when I was doing, like, you know, guest spots for Steve and whatnot. Like,
right.
You know, like all my really, like,
the old
That's
shit.
an interesting approach, because I've done lists where I'm like, all right, let me list the jokes I never do. Like, let me just make a list of everything I very rarely do, and just, like, do that for a week. But I've never done the bombed ones, like the ones where it's like, let me
go for the really.
Let me list out the jokes I bombed.
I did the bombs, and then I also did the ones where it was like, wow, okay, I thought these were great, and subjectively maybe they are. But, like, it's not me. Like the way I was, my delivery, like, I was a whole whatever. So
yeah,
I did it last September. It was my 3-year anniversary, and I did it. And then I received 2 interesting comments that I still you know, remember to this day. The first one was Renee, and he was like, James, happy anniversary. I'm happy to see that, you know. I love how James does jokes from 2 years ago and calls it a tribute, and other comics do 2 jokes from 2 years ago and calls it their set. I was like, all right, well played. And then Andrew just goes, James, happy anniversary. It's nice to see you use the right jokes. I will play it. I did become a bit of a rambling lunatic while finding my voice, but you know what? It's what it is. But
yeah, dude. I mean, sometimes we all have nights where it's like, I don't even care.
That's why I came up to that time when that dude was up there. I turned to you and I'm like, am I that bad?
Oh, you're not.
That's right. I was like,
dude, I looked at you. I was like, no, don't worry.
No, I like the way that when you go on stage, you have this very, like, conversational way of doing stand-up, where it's not like.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like practice business, more it just sounds like...
That's the whole point.
No, I remember when I first saw you, like, the second I saw you go up, I knew you were, like a fan of, like, just, like, based on, you can take this however you want, but, like, I knew you were a fan of, like, the O&A kind of comedy
that, like,
I was into, and I was like, yeah, this guy's definitely, like, into the type of shit I like.
Stanhope's my, like... My stage presence that if I can just keep that.
I love Doug.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those guys like that. That's the kind of the presence. You know,
I saw him in Gainesville, and he was nuts. Like, he was way funnier than his albums. Like, he wasn't even like really being like pretentious or cheesy. He was just saying fucked up shit. Like, And he was railed out on Ambien, and like everyone was just drunk as fucking dying in the crowd. It was such a good show.
He's got one of the best album names ever. He's got an album called Before Turning the Gun on Himself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the best fucking.
Yeah.
He's up. He's on like my.
No Refunds is my favorite stand-up album.
That's probably my top. That's a top 3 for me. Honestly, that one is 100% top 3. Like, I have my personal Mount Rushmore, like, who I believe should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Who's your Mount Rushmore? Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Well, like I said, I have the people I believe should be, and then my personal.
So, you have, like, the ones, like, based on, like, who's influential, and then, like, who you like. I got you.
It's Lenny Bruce, who I believe it is. It's Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and Joan Rivers. Because without those 4, you have nobody else.
Yeah,
that's
a pretty decent.
You have nobody else.
I would say
every
maybe the only
one
one
of them
that might be missing is like either Dangerfield or like
Robin
Williams.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about.
But here's the thing. Like both like all 3 of the. All right, so basically all 3 of the other 3 would admit that if it wasn't for Lenny Bruce, they would.
Lenny Bruce.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta have.
It's
like the one. Basically, everyone you said is mandatory. I mean, you can add another person, but like. Yeah, you cannot have Joan Rivers. You cannot have Pryor. You cannot have.
Well, it depends though, because you're thinking about if I would say, like Rushmore. If you want to have the Rushmore comedy, you got like 4 distinct type of comedy styles, where it's like Lenny Bruce and like George Carlin
are kind of the same thing.
Like if you like, I'm not the same
but Washington
thing.
and Jefferson were also.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's a good fucking point.
I don't think Jefferson should be on.
I think, but Lenny Bruce is the Lincoln looking at them, like
Lenny Bruce is the Lincoln. Yeah,
it's Carlin and Pryor next to each other.
Yeah,
and then slightly off center is Joan Rivers, and then there's Lenny Bruce, like.
Yeah, just looking at it.
And would it be Joan Rivers before or after the facelift?
Nah, it would be like.
I would like to think it's a half
and
half.
Which facelift?
It's like half old Joan Rivers, half lizard.
Yeah, it would be like Two-Face. It would be like Harvey Dent. But yeah, so but I think my personal is probably again George Carlin, Doug Stanhope, Patrice O'Neal, and I gotta say Nick DiPaolo. As much as I love like Greg Giraldo and Jim Norton, like of old guys, like Nick DiPaolo's one of these guys where I just.
DePaul never does it. He'll never not try
the one thing that all 4 of those guys I have in common, I believe, are they are very much themselves.
Yeah.
I try not to be any much of a bullshit. I like to believe that the guy that you see on stage is the same guy that is here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like a lot of my material and all my stuff, most of it stems from reality. Yeah. Do you throw in creative bullshit later? Yeah, but rarely is it birthed out of anything but a real thought,
or observation.
I understand.
You know what I'm trying to say? And and when it comes to like who you model your, what gets you up there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, DePaolo was one of those guys who I always was just amazed at the balls he had. Like,
and
even more than someone like Norton, because what Norton does is like he's really just very gross. You know what I mean? Like he can get as gross and sexual as possible.
Norton is funnier. I mean, in my opinion.
It depends on what you're looking for.
I mean, I just find that like I honestly hold on. Like I saw
just
like
that ability to where it's like he could say something like coming out of the mouth of anybody else, it would just be completely fucked up, and it's still fucked up. But it's like funny with him. I don't know what it is.
But he holds his
something
ground,
about that
you know
little garlic voice he has.
And there's a part of him that where he all right, so he's probably he's definitely the comic that I've seen the most.
Really?
In the before times.
The before times. The land before time.
In the before times, I would see him at least once, if not twice a year, when he would come around to Governors
Nick
and Brokerages. Nick
DiPaolo?
DiPaolo.
Okay.
I've seen Nick DiPaolo at least 8 times at Brokerage or Governors, and he's one of these guys where, like, the best part of a Nick DiPaolo show is you wait for anybody to groan or anything. And he waits for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, he lays the trap and then just takes their head off. So he has on one of his CDs, he has a joke about roadside memorials, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
that's a great joke.
He tells that, because it's Long Island, so he's like the Sunset State Parkway, roadside memorials, right? He tells this fucking joke, right? And then, like, this one girl kind of groans. Like, she kind of groans, and, and he just goes, he's like, she probably knows someone that has a roadside memorial, but you know what? Maybe she was a cunt. And he basically was just like, he was basically like, so now it's like every time I drive past a roadside memorial, I think maybe they were a cunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that was it. Like, that was
and
the
that's what's
best.
funny about him is he makes mean stuff
On
funny
purpose,
better
though.
than anyone else. Like, some people will try to be mean.
No,
and
I
funny.
disagree though, because
I mean,
I saw when I
mean,
saw
not
like,
better than
hold on.
Patrice.
So like I
Patrice
saw
fans,
Jim Norton like a couple of years ago though, and it was 28. It was like the day. It was Thanksgiving Eve.
Okay.
2018, and I saw him at Caroline's. It was the first time I ever
Yeah,
went
you
there.
saw skinny Jim Norton.
Yeah, but
Everybody loves fat Jim Norton.
no, skinny Jim Norton's
You know,
hilarious.
I've seen him over the years. So I've seen the evolution of him. Yeah.
But when I saw him at saw him at Caroline's, and fucking one of the things that he just like started off was like, yeah, the Thanksgiving parade is tomorrow. He's like, wouldn't it be funny if like there was a bomb on the bridge and then they all just walked off the bridge and just fell into the water and died?
Jesus Christ.
And I just started fucking like dying laughter. I don't know. That cuts to the soul, the core of
and
it.
now I want to do a comedian's bit.
I was in Atlantic City.
He just did that.
Nah, you know, I'm joking.
I saw him in
You're trying to get a fucking pointless jab.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a jab
to
at you. I'm trying to jab you, Jack.
You're trying to get a fucking jab.
Because you took your sweatshirt off, and now I'm pretty sure you're gonna take your shirt off eventually, and I'm scared.
Who did you just refer to him as?
No. I was just like joking about the fact that we're doing like.
You were joking that he's but you referred to him as a dead man. That was a little.
Oh well, yeah. Jack Siegel is.
R.I.P. Yeah. So it was weird.
He's dead and he's not coming back, everybody.
I'm like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense.
But anyway, I see what you're saying and why you would put DePaulo on the Mount Rushmore.
Only because I guess he's just kind of like a hero of mine because he's one of these guys where one thing I learned from watching him is like I've seen him not do well, but he fucking stands his ground and he don't give a shit. And like his podcast that now obviously is totally taken off. Like I was a fan of his. I'm going to do a comedy hipster.
It's taken off of
but
YouTube.
Like, I was a.
Yeah, no, it was taken off of YouTube. Yeah,
pre-canceled Nick DePaulo. But anyway, but he had just the nicest shit to say about, like, again, the people that whatever. And a lot of people say that his banter, how he would interact with Patrice O'Neal, it was like if the entire world acted that way, we'd be okay. You know, because if you listen to those old classic episodes, they had some raw conversations.
Oh, no, yeah.
And then like, they would
fuck each other up.
Because Anthony would say it all the time, like, the two of them, Anthony and Patrice, would have these raw conversations about race, and on the way into the parking lot, how's your pool? You pull open here, we hanging out. Like, it didn't even matter. Like, they just said their piece, and they.
It was also like obviously it was a different time, but those guys like had such a unique relationship that I think that modern society is missing. Like you know, like back in the day. I mean, even in my school, like I remember there was like, oh shit, I'm sorry, Jack. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jack.
Oh my god. Retard.
Show foul, I guess. It's not a party foul. It's a show. Alright, Jack's got to clear the beer I spilled.
Yeah, but you're soaking it up with your own jacket. Like
but I don't give a shit about
the true
jacket.
pothead that you are.
I mean, it's typical of me to spill a drink on my
Should I knock over Jack's beer and tell him that he knocked it over?
Jack, you just knocked over some on another beer. Oh, I already got it.
That's funny.
So typical.
Clean the fucking
I already fucking got it with my jacket.
No, clean it more. Get your elbows into it.
Blot that shit.
Oh, what was I even saying at this
That's
point?
not cleaning. No, I want you to get on the fucking...
I mean, if you want me to do that, I can just get naked right away.
Get in there all deep back.
Alright, anyway.
This is the worst cleaning ever.
What do you
You
want?
would make a horrible wife.
Well, I haven't fully transitioned yet. What do you want from me? Give me a couple more weeks and I'll have shoulders like... never mind. I was going to say somebody we know, but... Anyway,
Talking about comedians.
yeah, getting back to what I was saying, it's like, we're sort of missing that.
I think, honestly...
Sort of like Like I remember in high school, there were kids who would like
rape.
they would like rape people, and it was totally fine, and we thought that was okay. What's the problem?
It wasn't,
What? No.
Gay sex and heroin.
Tight ass about everything.
But I mean, there was kids who were
literally their asses are tight because they're not getting raped.
Exactly. Yeah. But
wow.
yeah.
A podcast orange, gay sex and heroin.
I just shocked myself with that joke. All right, anyway.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Jack Simmons. No, but I'm saying it's like kids would make rape.
The yellow M&M. J.K. Simmons, one of his many characters.
J.K. Simmons
is the yellow M&M.
Wait, he does the voice for the yellow M&M?
Yeah, among so many other things.
He's a versatile actor. The first role I remember him is in the show Oz. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah, when he was fucking Big Daddy.
He plays like this neo-Nazi in prison who's like, he's a badass motherfucker, and there's so much man rape in that show, and he definitely contributes to it.
It's
a great show.
I mean, there's a lot of like rape references in a lot of media. Like after DMX,
a lot of what this show,
especially this show. Yeah, but I don't know. Like here's the thing. Rest in peace, DMX.
Arf.
No disrespect. But I was listening
to
one
of rape.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I was listening to one of his songs, and he has a lyric in one of his songs where he's literally like, "And if you got a daughter older than 15, I'm a raper." And I was just like, yes. I swear to God. Like,
this is your hero, people.
Yeah.
This is your Facebook status.
Rest in peace.
Imagine he gets arrested for that, and his lawyer's like, no, you don't understand. It's a metaphor.
Yeah. No,
very
listen,
deep.
Listen, have you ever heard of, like, similes? And look.
He's an artist, you know?
Okay,
he's just making his art.
This man has been through a lot. He's communicating pain.
He's making his art all over those young girls' face.
He's showing those girls his pain, that's for sure. And that's DMX. He was a sensitive man. He made tough guys okay to be sensitive.
That was during the time in the early 2000s when there were so many rappers like him and Ja Rule and all those guys that had that very like raspy voice. Like,
right, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like people will argue about who started that. Some people say DMX started that. Some people say it was Busta Rhymes. I mean, I think it just kind of became like it's like an evolution thing where like maybe one dude like sort of coughed on a track once. Mm-hmm. Like he was just rapping normal and he's like, and then I got, and people were like, that was kind of fire, actually.
Yeah. I think they all just are mad fucking blunt heads, so their voices like that all the time.
Now I sound like this.
I mean, it's like...
Even Flavor kind of sounds...
I can't judge it because I listen to metal. So, like, I'm literally, like, comparing that.
You have a Ja Rule voice, though. That's... You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what...
I guess.
Are you 100%... That was probably so easy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was probably real easy, alright?
I could do,
Exactly. He has damaged his vocal cords to a point where it can go on a different level.
I can treat them like an instrument.
His vocal cords are not down with the system.
They're not down. No, they are down with the sickness. They're pretty down with the sickness, I'll tell you that. Yeah,
that's funny. That's fucking hilarious. But you can just do that so naturally. See, I can't.
I can be like,
you ever do like screaming?
I can't metal scream like that at all. Like it's whatever.
I've been on and off years trying to join bands, so I have legitimately like practice screaming just like alone in my house like an insane person, like just in the basement, like just screaming to myself, just trying to see if I could get it right.
Can you say welcome back to a podcast orange?
Welcome back to a podcast orange. Right now.
Prison, sex, and heroin.
Yeah. Which is what we'll be having. You should
start a bit. Jack, do you play any of these instruments down here?
I play the drum.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Jack has a whole fucking musical studio down here.
I know, down here I was sitting there like, wow, this is fucking...
Kind of badass.
Driving here, it was like... Greenlawn's one of these places where it's like, I always knew like existed, but never went to.
It's like a made-up name for a town.
Yeah, right. And you know what's funny? It's like
you mean my lawn?
It's like geographically, this place is like literally like 6 miles from here, from where I live, but it took me like a half hour. Like, let's say, like it's so close, but so fucking far at the same time.
It always reminds me of like a Pleasantville type neighborhood.
And what's weird is I literally I made a right on Deer Park Avenue. I went straight. I made a right, a quick left, and just continued. Like I just basically went
So if
This
anybody
might be exactly like straight
So if
on
anybody's
line of
trying to-
longitude, latitude, whatever.
If
No,
anybody,
yeah,
if
it's like
anybody
20
would
minutes
like to
south.
rape Jack Simmons tonight, you know where to go.
You have a general idea. You know where I live. That's part of it.
It's not rape if it's invited.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm inviting it for you.
Ooh,
So it's kind of like I'm doing it.
true.
Yeah.
On my regard, you're like my pimp.
Yeah,
Just
that's the way it works in the show. I'm the
pimping me
pimp,
out to the public.
and you just have to walk that stroll and get that money, ho.
That's
why I hired him.
I'm a glorious whore. I would make a nice prostitute, I think.
Glory hole.
I think, like, it would be funny if, like, I don't know. We would make good prostitutes. Could you imagine just, like,
Well, could you imagine actually?
Renee on this
But
corner?
I mean, could you imagine
you
actually
guys
trying
wanna
to
fuck?
sell yourself for sex? Like, the thing is, we wouldn't be able to, like.
I would get one of those giant arrow signs
We would
that
have to
people
go-
spin around and just have it pointed right at my dick and just stay on the corner. Like, interested? This is like a general offer.
I would just get like one of those neon light up signs from a bar that's the same fucking thing. Just like bling 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 bling, like cock here.
Or one of those like tube guys, but you give him a tube
Yeah, the
cock.
inflatable tube.
Yeah, but you give him
cock.
like a tube cock also. So you just like.
I just write Tom on his head. I'm like, this is me. Like, this is me. That's my dick.
Give him a raspy
The
voice.
thing is, though, we wouldn't be able to if we appealed to women. We'd make no money. We'd have to appeal to dudes if we wanted to make money, which is amazing. But you know what I mean?
Thank
Like,
That
God.
market's probably so much better. Or,
No,
or
yeah,
at least,
that's
like,
why. Where do you think
know
the
what?
money
Or
is?
even you just like, even if it's just like $5 to just make a gay joke at me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Deal.
Like $5, like literally, do you want to call me a
There are those
faggot for
cucks out there.
$5?
There are those like cucks that'll pay you to fuck their wives while they masturbate and cry in the corner.
I mean,
I call them Uncle Jim.
oh, don't we pay those guys cock bucks?
We pay them cuck
Yeah.
bucks. It's a
Yeah.
new form of money. Like, we think like cucks should just have dollar bills with the word cuck bucks on them.
Yeah, and you put a picture of their wife getting fucked.
So when they buy food, they're like, "Do you guys accept cuck bucks?"
That's the only money they're legally allowed to use.
It's a new form of currency.
James, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done sexually?
The weirdest thing I've ever done sexually?
Yes.
Have you ever been cucked?
No.
It's okay. You
No,
can-
no, no. It's not even
all right.
that.
We're not judging here.
Ugh.
I mean, we have some cuck bucks for you.
You know, I don't want to answer that question.
Nah, it's all right. You don't have to.
So I can't sit still for too long, so I'm just going to stand
No,
up.
you can
stretch,
stand up and stretch out.
walk around, because I think it's the adult ADHD.
No, that's all right. Yeah. You gotta pace
You
around
ever get
for
on
a
that?
minute.
You ever get on that Ritalin life?
I have
No, I
nicotine
may
gum
or
in
may
my
not-
pocket if you want.
I may or may not take some Adderall recreationally from time to time, but the problem is like I'm like a drinker, so it was just like I take an Adderall and the next thing you know, like my tolerance triples.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
then you're just
yeah.
up till like 8 in the morning.
Not even that I'm
Well-
up till 8 in the morning. I'm just like my body is way more hammered than my brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
like, how? I wake up in the morning like, how? I got home, no problem, fine. I drove people home. Like, it was fine. Like, it was just like, it was so fucking crazy.
Well, it's weird what those uppers like that and coke will do to your body because it'll make it like just run on autopilot where you're just like, I don't know how I'm awake.
mean,
I'm
being
just
on-
up. Like I'm just.
Being on coke just makes me like really paranoid, like way more paranoid than like weed ever could. Like I remember I was coked up on the subway once, and I was just like imagining every bad possible thing that could happen on the subway. Like literally, I'm just like, fuck, like the fucking train's gonna run out of power. Power's gonna go out. We're gonna
Imagine
fall
you
off the
said that
tracks.
loudly.
Somebody's gonna rob the
Somebody
train.
could have a bomb in here.
Yeah.
Like, dude, can you get the fuck away from me right now?
Yeah, just like I'm like, dude, are we at like William Street yet? It's like, why are you asking me?
Remember what that happened
I
with
just
that
wanna
guy?
know.
That guy T.J. Miller, you know, the guy from Silicon
Yeah,
Valley.
yeah.
He like
And Deadpool.
he called in like a fake bomb threat.
Did he really?
And he got like a bunch of people thought he was gonna go to jail for because he called in like he's getting into an argument with his girlfriend like really wasted on the train, and then we're on the subway. And then he called and was like, yeah, she's got a fucking bomb, and she's gonna blow up the subway. And then they just come and they're like, he's like, nah, I'm just fucking.
I'm just joshing, man.
I just had a lot to drink.
I'm gonna pee real quick. Can we go? Can I do that real quick?
You got it.
Is it gonna be me in here?
Keep it going. You can do it.
Oh my god, I'm supposed to talk by myself?
You can do it.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, what am I even supposed to say? I can't believe I spilled a beer on my own show. I'm such a fucking idiot. Hey, that's what happens, though, when you're on a podcast, Orange, I guess. Oh, God, I've never really done this show by myself. This is fucked. Oh, please save me.
It's nice improv practice.
Yeah, please help me. I'm sorry I spilled beer on your carpet, Jack Simmons. I feel bad.
I've spilled beer on my carpet before. You've spilled beer on your couch.
Yes. Many, many, many times.
You're a spiller.
Yep.
He's a spiller.
That's
He's a
me.
spiller.
That's me. Spiller. That's me.
So what do you think about that Matt Gaetz guy?
I mean, what am I supposed to... I saw on the news that he's denying the allegations. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. And, like, you know, it's like...
Did you see that guy's face?
No.
That dude
yeah, you showed me his face.
That dude has the most punchable face out of any human being in the planet. That guy reminds me of, like... I feel like he was like Brock Turner's best friend in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right there. He's like, yeah, bro, totally. Where is she? Behind the dumpster? I'll meet you there.
He's like, she's a little too old for me, but...
Yeah, he's like, yeah, she's kind of hiding for me, but I'll make sure nobody's watching.
18? Come on.
All right. Professional guest back again.
Yeah,
So
I was
right.
I'm like,
See,
what?
he wasn't
I'm like,
the-
I was about to like text it on my phone, like I gotta pee. But
I
like,
mean,
no,
it wasn't,
fuck it.
it
I'm just
wasn't
gonna
the
tell
adult
ya.
ADHD. You just had to piss.
Part
He
of
did
it, too.
some lines.
No, dude, we've taken piss breaks on the show when it's just us hosting. But
Professional podcast. with
It
pause.
started out as the adult ADHD. It started out as like I can only rock back and forth in the. I'm in a rocking chair.
yeah,
Listening at home. I can only rock back and forth for so long, and then I had to stand up, and then I was like, I gotta pee.
Now you gotta put...
And it was like, normally I can hold it, but for some reason, I guess it has something to do with the 3 IPAs I crushed in 40 minutes.
I mean,
professional
you gave me
podcaster
one of
would-
those things, and now I'm halfway through a Rolling Rock tall boy. I'm in the same boat.
Tom's got chubby, too.
I mean, I feel like I'm in a boat.
Tom, why do you got chubby? What's going on?
Yeah, dude, I gained a whole 3 pounds.
I know, we leave him alone for 10 seconds.
Really? Like, take it easy, man.
I gained a whole 3 pounds in a week. I went from 161 to 164. I'm a fat ass. I'm trying to gain weight. I don't want to be small.
No, I'm saying you have an actual chubby. Why do you have a boner?
Well, that's just because I love the show so much. I mean, it's passion.
Because I'm committed
That's
to the
passion
cause.
to the That's passion for the bit. That's what you call committing to the bit.
If you don't have a boner, you don't love America.
Here,
okay?
here, there you go. Wait, watch. There it goes.
Dude, that's how I would have been, like, if I was older during 9/11. I would have just walked around with, like, a giant erection. Like, yo, if you don't have an erection, like, the terrorists will win, okay? You gotta do this for each other.
Look, if you're not coming in your pants every 5 minutes,
What, do you fucking hate America?
what, you must hate America.
Those towers fell down because
I
of
guess
my
you
right to
love
have an
Osama.
explosion in my pants. It's gonna be 20 years. They're
I'll
gonna do some
fly
like
my
dumbass.
plane into your twin
They're gonna do
towers.
some like dumbass like 20-year fucking celebration of 9/11 or whatever this year.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, where everyone's gonna have a giant party. I mean, people are. Here's the fucked up thing about our country: people will have 9/11 parties this year. People are gonna have like that
it's gonna
in
be
20
like
years. And people are gonna have parties, and that's weird. But
They have parties for Memorial Days, and Memorial Day is supposed to be like, you know, all these people died in these
Yeah, and people
pointless
are just
wars.
like grilling food, like.
Yeah. Patrice said something to the effect. Said something to the effect of the same thing. It was like, how long will it be until 9/11 becomes like a hamburger
holiday,
hot dog
yeah.
holiday?
Yeah.
You know, because like the whole thing was like, I think Anthony would bring it up a bunch of times, like that you couldn't. Like the Titanic is like a water slide and like a blow up thing, like whatever. But that was like an American tragedy. Like so many people like died horrifically, and now it's a slide.
Yeah.
Like you realize that there's like people like that was the Titanic just recently was like I think 100 years.
It was kind of like the nine. It wasn't the 9/11 of that because it wasn't an attack.
No, but it was a
But
national
almost like-
fucking
huge
tragedy.
tragedy.
It
It
was
was
a
literally
Challenger
like a
exploding.
massive.
It was,
it was the biggest tragedy
It was-
at the time.
and it was like 100. And I want to say it was like 103 or 104 years ago.
Yo, little known fact, it happened on my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, April 14th coming up, the anniversary.
Well, you know what's like
But what I'm trying to make is like there's people alive still that like they can say like, oh, my great somebody died in the Titanic, and then they drive past a block party and some jerk off's got a fucking Titanic water slide or something like that.
It's like the Trail of Tears, but I mean, like a safari Trail of Tears. But you know, it's like, dude, I remember when I was like a really little kid, like really fucking young. When the first time I ever watched Titanic, my sisters rented it from Blockbuster, and like I was at the scene when like the people are literally sliding down, like after they hit the iceberg, they're sliding down the boat, and I remember being 5 years old. I was saying like, wow, that looks like fun. I want to do that. Like, it's like
I've always thought that looked fun too.
If there's a way to go, yeah.
I mean, it's also weird to think.
If I knew the impact would kill me.
I mean, it's also kind of weird to think that like. Even just in general, like, you know, the Titanic happened, 3,000 people died in, like, you know, the course of 2 hours. And then, like, 90 years later, James Cameron just made millions and millions of dollars off that. Like, could you imagine just
that was the highest grossing movie until his next movie.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
James Cameron really...
Could you imagine saying my success only exists... because of the deaths of 3,000 people, like 8 years ago.
Well, I thought that person was... when I first saw... Then I saw the movie again when I was a kid, I thought that lady was like, that was a real person. Like that,
yeah, no, it's not even a real story. There's probably a true story you can...
Yeah. Honestly, though, it's a fine movie.
It's alright. I mean, the thing about the Titanic is you got to
it.
appreciate... the Titanic sinking part. Like, that's the good part.
Dude,
like,
and it's also
like that's really what
it's
you watch it for. Like,
it's an amazingly, it's incredibly, it looks incredible. Like, it was.
Yeah, it's a well-made film. But, I mean, nobody really cares about the romance where it's like...
between Leo and
yeah,
Kate.
and they're just like, oh, let's fucking...
Well, it's a typical rich guy,
in the
poor
car.
girl, and a poor guy, rich girl, like, you know, Romeo and Juliet.
It's like, let's fuck in the car
love,
that happens to be on the boat. Like, why was there a car on the boat? I mean, like, they just having a fucking...
You want to know Matthew McConaughey auditioned for the lead role?
Really?
I will say
the world would have been different.
It has a unique place in my the movie. Not so much the movie itself, but so that movie came out in 1998, and in 1998 I was graduating 8th grade, and I went to or whatever, or maybe it came out in 1997, but it was still in theaters in 1998. The point I'm trying to make is, so I went to like a Catholic school for 1st through 8th grade, so like I knew these people this whole time. So like the 8th grade graduation was huge because it was like I didn't go to middle school, elementary school. It was just that was it, going to high school, and like I was like 14, and the mall by me had a movie theater in it, and Titanic was playing, and it was one of those things where I was able to tell my mom that I was dropping off at the mall. I want to go see Titanic again. Yeah, again. The movie was like 3 hours long, so I wasn't even going to the movie. I was hanging out at the mall with my friends. Yeah. But I had like 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, Titanic was amazing. Like, I could have really left and come back if I wanted to. I mean, I stayed at the mall the whole time. But, like, that was just something.
That was back when the mall was like the shit.
Yeah, it was like
when you were 14 years old, and they still had arcades and shit.
Yeah, there was a time where, like
1998 was an awesome time.
In the 90s, and even the 2000s.
Back when Hot Topic had a wrought iron gate, and you were afraid to go in there. Like, that was.
Nowadays, you're just like, oh, Hot Topic. What do I
back
need?
When the changing room at Hot Topic was like a champagne room, like it was like red velvet, like it was all kinds of shit.
Yeah, right.
It was insane. It was wild.
They were doing coke and
they just there were like poppers and fucking like
it wasn't until
crazy.
The 2000, like the late until the late 2000s.
People don't realize
shit. Like
people don't realize that you would go to the Smith Haven Mall to pick up chicks.
Walt women
like,
for me.
Well, I mean, but could you imagine like these days going to either the Walt women or this these days going to the Walt women Mall of Smith Haven thinking you're gonna get laid? Like that'd be insane.
That was the and that like
at the time though, yeah.
And that was even if it was just one of those things where like it was just something to do. Like you just went there and you just wandered around. You might not run into somebody you know, but like there was an arcade, there was a this, there was a that. You can kind of
hang, yeah.
You can hang a little bit, yeah. And it was like I went. Like Sunrise Mall was always like a smaller mall, but it was like I said, it had major department stores. It had a movie theater. It had a lot of shit. So it was pretty popular for what it was. But it just when malls started going to shit, it was one of the first to really go to shit.
Yeah.
You know, it really, really was.
Yeah.
And like I recently went in there for something. I had to go to an actual like store for something, and it was like the saddest thing in the world because I'm walking by going like
it's so,
I'm walking by
the
going
mall
I made out with a
2021.
girl when I was 15 in this, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember like little memory things pop
Yeah.
up, and it was like the saddest
it's
fucking
bleak,
thing.
you know what I mean?
It's
And
exactly that.
Because
yeah.
you're just walking around in a hollowed out shell of what it used to be.
Yeah.
it's like the
It's
memory
all-
of a town.
It's
you
all
know?
modernized and like everything is just like
Exactly, it's
hello,
not
hi,
even
how
the
are
same,
you?
yeah.
There's nothing grimy about it. See,
There's
when
no
I was,
humanity there.
When we were, I think when you and I were growing up, Jack, it was like
Who?
Well, I mean, Jack. Well,
Jack who?
yeah, Jack Simmons.
Simmons.
I mean, well, you're pretty young, so I don't
Yeah.
know about you. But
When my predecessor,
yeah,
Jack
when
Siegel,
when me and your predecessor Jack Siegel were growing up, I think it was kind of like a transitional phase where it's like people still hung out at the mall, but those were like the grimy kids. You know what I mean? It was like
no,
it's
I
like-
actually, I don't know, man. When I was,
I went to the mall,
we had
but I
all
would only
different types of kids
I would
that
I would
to the
only
mall.
go to the mall if I wanted to buy records. Like me and my friends would go to the mall to go to FY.
Really, for me, it was like,
Like-
everybody went to the mall.
I
It
don't
was
know.
Like
I mean, maybe Walt Whitman was lit, but Smith Haven, it was like if you hung out there, it was like, what are you doing? It's like you're probably one of those kids who was like smoking cigarettes at age
It wasn't.
13. Like,
I guess
you know,
like with me though, because I also at the same time I didn't go to. This was I went to private school. It was like I graduated 8th grade, a class of like 42.
Oh
And-
wow!
And that was a
school.
that's a social experiment in and of itself. I
Yeah,
can be
really.
perfectly honest with you. That's why I'm a fucking weirdo.
Oh, the
St. Rose.
valedictorian. It's like,
St. Rose.
St. Rose in Massapequa.
could you imagine the
Oh,
valedictorian of what was it like? The valedictorian of 42 people. It's like, are you really better than all of us? Like, fuck
It's
you.
like,
No,
I-
he was no. He was listen. He was brilliant in every way. Like, but like looking back on it, I think like,
He was better than 42 people.
but like looking back on it, like I don't. This kid either did really well or he's like no joke dead because I remember
oh shit!
he got a 98.
Yo, possible rest in peace.
He got a 98 on something once and he had a meltdown.
Oh shit!
Okay, it was like whatever.
Really? Like he
would
like
win
broke
one of those
down.
overachievers.
Yeah, but here's the thing: he was a straight everything, 100 all the time. He
True.
every. Here's the thing: in hindsight, like if he came back, if I found out that he was like some like he's super successful like gay theater kid, that would make 100% sense because like he won. They would do the storytelling contest every year where you get two people per grade. And and they would compete telling a story in their class, and then the winner they'd be an assembly where it'd be like, all right, the 4th grade storytelling and that kind of thing. This kid won it every single year. He won the speech contest every single year. Like he won everything all the fucking
Damn.
time. This guy, and I just remember one time he got like a 98 on something, and
He, like,
lost
collapsed?
his fucking mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've
Some people are
I've
like
known
that,
kids
they're
that
just-
way though.
You know
Yeah.
what
And
I'm
it's
saying?
honestly,
Like,
like, almost
he
a form
I
of-
think that's like
his
the
mind.
parents partly though. Like it's not even it can't just be the kid.
It's
Like, you
partly
gotta
that,
have
but it
mom
also
and
becomes
dad,
like a thing where it's like a self-reinforcing OCD, where it's like they have to do it, and then like they don't. It becomes like there's this form of anxiety where they feel like something bad is going to happen. If
I
they
know.
don't get,
I
like,
knew a
99.
kid who cried when he got an 80 once, and I was literally like sitting there. I'm like, dude, an 80? Like that's good. Like I was literally like,
I'm like, I
sitting
got an
there-
80. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was
Like,
sitting. Yeah, I'm sitting there with
I mean-
an 83. I'm like, no. Like,
I'm gonna tell my parents they're gonna be happy. You know?
I guess it. Yeah, no, I guess it depends on like the
What you're going
standard
for,
that you're
yeah.
held to. It was like I unfortunately was smart enough where my threshold was 90 and up.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I
it
came home with
depended on the
anything
class,
under a
but-
90, I maybe had a little bit of a buffer, but
True.
anything like if under an 80. Might as well have been F. You know what I'm saying? Like with
Damn.
the way it was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was more
the
like-
same. I was the same
because
way.
I
I was
spoiled
like
my
that with-
parents early by being
Yeah.
a prodigy, and then I
I
just stopped
gotcha.
caring. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what it is.
Well, I was
like,
the same way. Like my parents were like, I had to get like an 80 on.
Yeah, my
everything.
parents definitely complained if my report card wasn't in order. Like they'd be like, "Why'd you get like why'd you get like a 79 in math?"
That's
Like,
like,
because it's fucking math. Like
If I brought
I
home
was
a
good at all
report
the
card,
everything except math. Like
Yeah,
in
if I
math,
brought-
I fucked.
I'm still to this
too.
day functioning
Science
on the
too.
bare minimum requirements for the state in math that they allow you on both the high school and college level. All right,
Yeah.
I got like a 55 on my math regents, and then I had to take it again in the summer, and I got like a 45. Like it was just.
The only math I ever tackled was geometry.
Geometry is
is
easy though. Yeah.
Dude, because it's literally just like, is this a triangle? It's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it certainly is.
Dude,
Like,
I actually
yeah.
had the best when I was in Malloy for my undergrad. For my math gen ed, we had this woman like come in. We were waiting for like 15 minutes outside the room, like where the fuck is this person? And then I see this 4-foot, like she reminds me. You ever watch like Poltergeist?
Yeah.
She looks like like the small lady Zelda Rubinstein, and she was carrying this like roller suitcase. And I was just in my mind, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And she just walked in. And then she started class, and she was a nice lady, but like she was just the worst teacher. Because she would start like telling us a math problem and like showing us how to do something like that, and you'd be writing down like, oh, I get this. And then she'd be like, oh wait, no, that's not. Oh wait, hold on.
I hate when teachers
And I'm like,
do
wait,
that.
dude, motherfucker, I was just like.
It's like, don't you fucking know?
I was getting what you were explaining, and now you're like, this is wrong. No, she was a dumbass. And then like I looked on her Rate My Professor, and then people were mean to her. One person was like, yeah, she smells like cottage cheese, and she looks like a Oompa Loompa.
Somebody's like, she deserves to die.
I was like, Jesus,
She's an old cunt. And
yeah, like that's
a
little harsh
on the nose.
Yeah.
I remember like.
Well, the funny thing the funniest thing about it was she was. I was like, I was never good at math, and I'm like, I want to get like an A, and she's like, it doesn't really matter what grade you get. I'm like, well, actually, it does.
It really matters. If it doesn't matter, just give me the degree now, you dummy.
Yeah, that's the whole point why I'm here.
I don't think you're really looking at this from my perspective here.
That's why I'm with you outside of class time. Like, do you think I would voluntarily choose to spend another second with you ever than I had to?
Are you sure your teacher wasn't dumb? It's like, look, man.
It doesn't really matter about the grade.
It's like, look, I just don't think I'm going to pass your class. I'm going to get an F. Hey, man, one man's F is another man's A, bro.
Listen, bro, grades are just a construct.
Yeah,
It's part of your own objective reality. I don't.
Look, man, if you just expand
grades
yourself,
just have negative energy.
It doesn't even matter.
I have a joke about him, and I've done it like twice, and he loves it. And it was just it's him being like the DoorDash guy, and I was like, he's the easiest person because when you DoorDash, you gotta card somebody if they give him booze. And he's the easiest person to get free underage booze from. Because you can just be like, hey man, age is just a construct. It's not part of your objective reality. And so is money. And you're like, I never thought about it that way, man. Here, enjoy it.
There you go, man.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to start doing that. Dude, imagine like getting DoorDash from Dom, like you're just like, yeah, thank you, and then you open your Five Guys and there's like a courage stone in there. You're just like, the fuck is this? It's like a round green emerald. You're just like, am I supposed to eat this? Like,
he knocks on your door like 20 minutes later. Hey man, did you find a stone in your shit?
Like,
I dropped my.
He's like, yo, my bad, bro.
I dropped the soul stone in your.
Sorry, man. I just took like a huge dab beforehand, man. And I'm just spinning out of control.
He's like, bro, honestly though, you can keep the stone if you want. It's good vibes.
He's like, listen, I astral projected here, so I'm not really here. But if I can get my stone back and one of those fries, that'd be great.
Oh man,
he's the best.
I love Dom so much.
I know, me too.
Dom is just like, Dom's the guy though. Like, it's hard to be like depressed around Dom. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're depressed. Like, and as much as
you want to sink in it.
Yeah, like it's nice to have people who try to build you up again.
Right.
Like you need that, but sometimes you just want.
Sometimes you don't want that shit.
Yeah,
sometimes you just want to be a miserable fuck.
Sometimes I just want to complain about shit. And be like,
exactly.
Sometimes I just want somebody to be like, yeah, man, that fucking blows. Like,
yeah.
But like, I'll just be like, man, like it sucks. Like I don't know what I'm doing with like comedy, or like I just don't know what everything is stressing me out and. Every time with Dom, he's just like, hey, man, like, if you just, like, expand
you gotta look at it from a different
like,
angle, and I'm like...
Sometimes it's just like, yes, I guess that's true, but, I want somebody to be a dick.
The thing is also about Dom is that he's much younger than us. Like, once you get to a certain age... Once you get, honestly, to, like, 25, I consider like the hump age. You get like a certain level of crabbiness to your general demeanor,
dude.
Where you wake up, where like it's a new thing because
I'm 3 days away.
But the thing is, like, it's like you used to just like
25.
Yeah.
Like you have like this general like sort of like growly demeanor at a certain age, and Dom doesn't have that yet. So sometimes, you don't want to be like a fucking asshole, a fucking piece of. Even if you don't believe it, it's just fun to just be like. Just to be like a miserable dick.
I mean, because it's like sometimes like when you're actually feeling
It's
down,
cathartic.
you just want you want somebody to add to or just kind of agree with it because you want it to feel validated.
You want someone to buy you another beer
and
just fucking let you fucking drown in it.
Even if it's toxic, it's like it feels
that's
better
what you
for a
want.
minute.
Yes, I get
It's like you ever watch Annie Hall?
No.
Like one of my favorite scenes of the movie, he's like on a date with this girl. I like how he's still there. You're like, no.
Yeah, I like that, and I like how you just followed it up. Like it's like, you ever watch this movie? No. All right. Well, one of my favorite scenes in the movie you've never seen.
Well, it goes back to the point. So like they're just sitting on a bench, and all these people are walking by, and you're like, he's on a date with her, and he's like, look at this fucking guy. I bet he's like cheating on his wife right now. And she's like, yeah, look at this woman. What a cunt. She's a fat, miserable bitch. I mean, they didn't really say that. It was better than.
Because you made me want to watch the movie.
Yeah,
now it's like.
now
they said that.
I'm gonna watch the movie waiting
worst
for that
review
cunt.
ever.
I'm gonna be waiting for that
cunt that never happens.
Where's the cunt? Where's the cunt? Oh,
Jack Simmons is full of shit.
Fucking liar.
It's the cunt that never happens.
The cunt that never was.
But
the cunt that should not be.
But that's what you need. You need a girl if you're looking for like. Here's my dating advice to all the guys out there: is that you want to find a girl that you can be an asshole with.
How long have you been with your girl right now?
I don't have one.
Yeah, because you're fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you got one. You can fucking attest to that, right?
So much of our relationship is the banter that we have back and forth because we can bust each other's balls, and we do it enough where if we can tell like, all right, that one was serious. He actually meant something there, so I'm gonna cut the shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. But go back to what you said before. 25 is a milestone that you don't realize is until you get there. All right. I'm just saying, like, it's like if I can make like a gambling reference, like if you go to a casino and the chips, there's the denominations, there's dollars, there's fives, there's 25s, and that's an upgrade now. You are now one green chip. You know what I'm saying? You're a new minimum, like a new standard. Yeah. Like anything behind you, I don't want to say it's practice, but
right, yeah.
Trust me.
Feel that way.
Trust me when I tell you, you could start over tomorrow.
I get that. That's
you're gonna be
that's a good point.
Just fine. I promise you.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely a good point.
I don't care how much time you think you have wasted. When you turn 30, the world slows down because you have this weird mentality. Unless you have like a kid or some weird shit like that, that's different. But like if you're just like a fucking dudes like us, you have this thing in your head that by the time I'm 30, I need to do X, Y, Z, and there's this weird rush. And then you wake up on your 30th birthday, and the world just kind of slows down a beat. And it's like, all right, it's all still here. It doesn't matter if I started building my empire at 20 or 30. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 37 and still haven't built mine, but don't be me. That's the theme.
I was going to say, like, you're making me feel better about 25, but now I don't know about 30.
No.
Tom works at UPS,
No, but that's not even, the point is, like, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Of course. I get what you mean. And I am kind of looking at it
I think it does
matter.
I think Tom's a loser and he should give up.
Yeah, well, that's because you're 20. What are you, 20? What are you,
I'm
28
actually 2 weeks.
You're like 193 hours or something. I don't even know how old you are. God. I can't trust you for anything.
I'm 2 weeks old, man.
How do I even know if that Jack Simmons is your real name?
Well, it's apparently the name of a much less successful comedian.
This Jack 18 subscribers.
Yeah, what up, bitch? Why don't you take those 18 subscribers and shove it up your dick hole, you fucking...
This man has no idea what you're talking about.
You should just be like Jack Simmons L.I. Jack Simmons Lee.
I should be like Jack Simmons in parentheses, the funny one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the good one there, like Jack
the
Simmons,
one that isn't a loser.
Jack Simmons, and then in your description, you're just like, I'm the Jack Simmons that's actually good. There's another one, but he's not
a piece
good.
of shit.
You should make it as wordy as possible in the parentheses. The actual funny one that does comedy.
The one that has more than 18 subscribers.
All right, guys, I want to bring up your nice comedian. He's a good friend of mine. You're gonna love him. Jack Simmons, but the funny one, not the other one that's kind of a faggot.
Exactly. The host spends 3 minutes introducing you because that's how long
he had to make a separate page for your name.
It's like a scroll.
That's his actual name. That's just like the official name that he's going by.
He's like, hey man, he comes up to you before you go, he's like, look, you're going to go up next. Could I just like abbreviate your name, and it's like,
Nope.
nah, man. Like you said,
I just call you
said
Jack
everyone else's
Siegel?
whole name.
No.
No, you cannot.
Simmons or nothing. Now get down on your knees and
Pulling out the pen.
pen time.
Yeah.
I've just been very open about just my...
No, yeah, you can do illegal.
That's the thing about the pen is that
Actually, it's legal.
yeah.
You're
Is
allowed.
it though?
I don't know. I think carts are somewhat legal.
It fucking
They
better
are
be
illegal. You
because-
can buy them at a fucking
Well, no, those are
stores.
No,
you can buy
those
Delta
are-
8, but
Yeah, that's not off.
Delta 8 though.
Because literally,
I'm pretty
a
sure you're allowed to possess a certain amount of the oil.
Okay, because
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I got in trouble.
I mean, if you're not, then it's totally not oil. It's a vape. Yeah, that's fine. It's a vape.
Dude, I was talking about doing Adderall before. I don't.
I mean,
shit.
yeah, it's fine.
Like it's whatever.
No,
It's like,
yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
fine.
Anybody?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
No.
Yeah, I could
nice,
never
nice.
possibly turn down weed. Jack Simmons, you've only been alive for like a week and a half.
Exactly.
I don't know if you should get
Cognitively, you shouldn't even be smoking until you turn
cognitively, you're gonna
25.
fuck
what,
up your
that's
development.
what Joe Rogan says.
Well,
Yeah, cognitively, you shouldn't be
and
smoking.
if there's any, you know what? I think if there's anybody to get medical advice from, it's from Alex Jones's best celebrity friend. That's what I really.
Yeah, get medical advice from the guy that had a heart attack at 35. Yeah, get the guy. Get me. Hey. No, but
Oh man, that was a cloud.
yeah. No, because actually, that would be actually insane because
That is.
I got myself into a little bit of trouble involving one of those
Really?
like 2 weeks before the lockdown, and it's been, nothing's happened since. It's been on hold because it's not like a felony and they weren't processing anything, whatever. But
It's not a felony?
well, no, but it's a misdemeanor, dude. That was like, so I got pulled over like literally leaving. I want to say it had to have been late February, early March of 2020, like right before the shit hit the fan. And I was leaving Ziggy's, and I got pulled over because they told me I was speeding down one of the side streets, which I probably was, but whatever.
Yeah. Which they were right.
And the thing is, though, it's like I've gotten rolled up on it in for the longest time with weed enough times where I know that as long as I don't have like a bowl lit and I can be lucid enough when I'm chatting with them, worst case scenario, they're gonna take my weed and they're gonna fucking let me go. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a
Right.
park, you don't know how many times I've been in a parking lot I've gotten rolled up on for smoking weed.
Yeah.
And I would just say, they'd be like, "You have anything in the car you shouldn't have?" I go, "No, I got about 2 grams in the fucking center console. I got a bowl right here, and that's it. You can search whatever." Because I knew just nothing was going to happen.
I've had
right?
similar situations, but I wasn't as poised.
Well, I wasn't as poised the first 2 or 3 times, but after I realized that, okay, this is what it is, especially when you have cops saying, "All right, great, we're not the weed police. We should be, hopefully, if you're not lying," they've literally said, "If you're not lying, we'll be out of here in 10 minutes." And they were right. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, that's, because they really don't give a fuck about
They
weed.
don't. Like, they really, really don't. You
Weed
know?
and
Like,
cops will make you just
if you get pulled in for having weed on you, it's because you're just a dick to the cop and he wanted to fucking whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Cops will generally just
it
like make
depends
you.
the state, but yes.
No,
yeah.
but we're talking-
In New York,
we're talking
yeah,
Nassau County,
we're talking-
Massapequa,
yeah, New
Broadway.
York, yeah.
Cops will
And the thing
generally
is,
be
though-
okay with it as long as like they'll make you like throw it away. But like,
I mean, yeah.
some of them will actually not even make you
I
throw
had
it away.
one
They'll
time-
tell you to go home.
I remember this was right after. This was during Sandy, I want to say, and during Sandy, Meredith and I we went to we were at the Applebee's in Belmore because they were one of the few places that had power, and we were going to we were sitting there in the lot and we were watching a video on my phone on my dashboard, and we were smoking a bowl before we went inside, and the cops happened to see that video playing. And they were like, "Oh, what's going on?" They see the weed, right? So they come in and they pull us, they whatever, and they do the whole thing. And we were basically just like, they were like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" I was like, "You just here for the Wi-Fi?" I'm like, "No, half price apps, man. I'm just getting a little stoned before." Like, I was just straight up honest with him. Whatever. I was like, whatever it was. This fucking guy, ready for this? He did not take the ball. He did not take the weed. He took every lighter. And Booker matches in my car. That's so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what an asshole!
But you know what? No, that's awesome. Like,
What are you
well
talking
played.
about?
Like,
I mean, that's.
He just goes to 7-Eleven and spends $1.50.
I know,
No, but it's still just like, it's like, all right, I'm going to let you off. I'm not going to take the weed. You have that moment where you're like, you're the greatest cop ever. But
No,
I'm
that's
gonna take
it.
all your lighters.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
oh,
He basically,
man.
I didn't realize that. I didn't probably.
Well, you have to
whatever.
do something.
No, I mean, you're right.
That's the
you're
best thing
absolutely-
to take is the
you're
lighter.
absolutely
Because
right.
the lighter
But
you can
you know
get
what?
anywhere.
That
You're
was-
absolutely right.
That's like, but I didn't realize that until we got out of Applebee's. We were done, and we were gonna go so both of us, our power was out at our houses, so we weren't living in my car, but we were hanging out in my car basically because nothing had power. It was fucking sandy. So like we went to smoke again. And we realized that nobody had a lighter because like they searched her purse too,
and they
took all of her lighters. Like they took every.
See, but that's the thing. It's like here's why.
But you know what? But that's me as a cop though. Like that's me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
or I would
honestly
leave it
better.
like under a seat.
But
or
here's why
something
that's
like.
thick because lighters are legal. The cop was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna take the weed.
Yeah, but that's
fuck
why
you,
he's
I'm a
that's
cop.
why
I
he's
can
kind of
take your
funny.
lighters.
But
But
that's
he
why
get-
it's funny though because
the
it's
li-
like if he had took like I don't know the weed. It would have been such a pain in the ass to get weed again. You would have to call
that's
somebody. You would have to wait.
But at least
Must-
it would've
somebody
been
would-
predictable.
Yeah, but somebody wouldn't have been able to be like, oh, this guy's got weed on him. You call for like a bowl. Maybe a store's not even open, but it's like a lighter. You can literally just buy it at any fucking gas station anywhere. That's
fucking-
like that's
I mean,
that's
a
cool
crazy.
cop right
That's
there.
crazy.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I just remember one time. You ever gone to the Psych Center in Kings Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to go. You ever gone like to chill there and like smoke and drink?
Oh wait. I've been at Pilgrim.
Oh, you never been to KP?
He grew up at the time when he grew up. It was still around.
No,
right?
it wasn't. It was inactive in '96.
Yeah, you were like grew up in the 80s.
How old do you think I fucking
Yeah,
am?
right. I was
You're
gonna
like
say, what is he like?
you're
10?
You're like 35, right?
37.
37. So you.
But I'm a Massapequa guy. I never really hung out out
okay.
here.
But I mean,
but you know what? I've been. Here's like the few times that I've been at one of those places, I was way too old to be getting caught doing shit like that.
Yeah,
So I can't remember. I think that was all that was going through my head at
Which
the
is
time.
like, what am I doing here? Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you if it was Pilgrim or not. But
I got you. I mean,
it was,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I was just too old to be getting caught by state troopers breaking into a psych ward to smoke a blunt.
I mean, you most likely would have been called by P-Safe, but still. But it's like I went there once when I was 17, and here's the thing: we were retards. Like I've gone there hundreds of times. And back when we were young, we didn't know that you can't park on the park at night because we're idiots. We don't realize that basically any park is closed after sunset. So we bring our cars there. We like go into the buildings for a minute. We had like weed in my car, and like. You know, like, right before we're about to leave, a cop just rolls up on us, and we're like, fuck, and this and that. And, like, he comes up to me, and obviously he's giving me the business. I'm like, we're just here, like, we're just walking around, you know, like, we didn't go in the building, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like, he notices my friend is sitting on his bubbler that was named Bub Marley. And, like, he's like, my friend's like this, and he's like, what are you sitting on? I'm just like, oh, fuck. And, like, he's like, yeah, you're all getting out of the car. And he searches us, and like, you know, we didn't have any bud, but he found like the grinders and the bubbler and stuff.
He found enough.
Yeah, he wound up letting us off easy. He gave us all like area close to parking ticket, like area close to public tickets, basically just a parking.
So was this Suffolk County or this state?
Suffolk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was basically just a regular cop.
So Pilgrim is the state.
Pilgrim is Pilgrim's in a different place. Pilgrim is
No, I know where it is, but is Pilgrim this?
I'm not sure who would police that area, but I think it would still just be P-Safe, most likely.
Whatever.
But, I mean, there are gang members who go to Pilgrim, so maybe the state troopers would go there.
Kings Park Psych Center was a sketchy ass place.
But the thing is, it became a playground after a while. Like, kids, I remember one night I was there, I was on top of the roof of a building, I was looking into the windows of another building, there was flashlights on every floor. Right. And I was like, this isn't scary, this is literally like Adventureland. Like, but anyway.
There was a time I went to Kings Park Psych Center, and I went to like get high with people, and we just look over at one of the walls, and it just was like written in like some like thing like carved out or
just giant dick.
And it just somebody wrote like, "Bam, you're dead." And
Bam Margera? It's like, is Bam okay?
We're like 15 years old, and we're just high as hell. Oh my god!
Yeah, dude, you walk around in there, you'll see like, you're gonna die, or like, dead man's room, and it's like, come on, guys. But anyway, so the cop, he lets us off easy, but before he lets us go, he takes my friend's bubbler, and he's just like, this is getting smashed.
Oh,
and we're like, no!
Dick.
And we just like, he walks in the back.
Pick up your fucking beer.
It's empty. But anyway, he walks in the back. He literally winds up like he's like pitching a baseball. And we're just like, come on, dude. And he slams my fucking, not mine, my friend's bubbler.
That is.
And we're like, dude, you did not have to do that. Like, you could have just taken it. You didn't have to crush it in front of us. But anyway,
they're trying to make a point.
Here's the thing. This fast forwards a couple of years later. When I was in college, we wound up getting caught at this, like, because I was back home. We wound up getting caught at the psych center again. And this time they, like, pulled guns on us. And we were like, oh, shit. And we're, like, on our knees.
Wow.
And they're like, what are you doing? Freeze, get on the ground. And we're like, okay. And we're, like, on our knees. Because, I mean, we were older now. We were adults. Like, back then we were 17-year-old little kids.
Like
now we're, like,
old enough to
bearded 19-year-olds. And we're sitting there like, okay, shit. And then, like, you know, the cops are doing their shit with the business. And then one of the cops is just like, wait, get out of here. Those fucking idiots. And I'm like, no way. And then he comes over.
Took you for...
He comes over. He's like, who's the fucking idiots that I already caught here like 2 years ago? And my friend Jordan's like, it's probably us. And it was the same guy. It was literally the same guy who smashed the bubbler.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, it's literally, I remember you guys. He's like, dude, I have not been here since then. That's weird.
The cop just called you.
That is weird.
That's
You guys are fucking idiots.
The cop's like, dude, bro, let me hit that. That's fucking trippy shit, bro.
Yeah, right. He's like, bro, I'm tripping right now. Like, it was wild.
That's hilarious.
I would never trip at fucking Kings Park.
Oh, I wouldn't trip there. That'd be scary.
That would be so
That'd be
sketchy.
horrifying.
I would feel like the ghosts of the people that died there would like come to life and shit. Like it would be.
I assume that anyway. You know, like
I mean, it was
There's some creepy ass shit. I had a friend who went there and he said that he went to a room and he just saw like this chair hanging from a rope. Like, people go to all types of lengths to make, you know.
I was up there on the roof once, and I was with so many kids. Like, kids, my friends, kids I don't know. And, like, at one point, my friend DJ, he's just like, yo, we're gonna go find a toilet, and we're gonna just throw it off the roof. And I'm just like,
right,
super.
Saints,
yeah, right? I'm just like so high. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You guys do that. I'm going to stay up here.
I'm Kyler, and this is Jackass.
And the next thing I knew, like, I'm sitting up there.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining Tom at 19 with that shitty voice still. This is Tom. And...
Hi, this is Tom, and you're watching Long Island Jackass.
He's got a raspy voice, but his balls haven't dropped yet, so it's like raspy but high pitched at the same time.
Hi, Tom, and this is come to school without your calculator.
I started smoking cigarettes when I was still in the womb.
Bro, I mean, yeah, dude, you could probably find some footage of me from like 2004.
He has fetal tobacco syndrome.
I can see the Tom's first words were like, "Goo goo gaga."
No, his first words were.
So, anyways, I was saying.
Yeah, that was my first words. I started with a bit.
So anyway,
they were like, beautiful baby.
You started not even that. You started mid-bit.
Yeah,
so anyway,
I just came out of the vagina. I was like,
what else? All right, what else?
Like, child molestation is a lot like bowling.
Am I right?
The doctor's like, oh, your son's gonna be a comedian, and then my dad's like, honey, we should probably just put him down.
Can we put him back in the vagina?
Congratulations, it's a comedian.
It's a comedian.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Well, that was an episode of South Park where Jimmy came out of the vagina and he had like a...
That's right.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
It's good to be here.
Oh, what a terrific audience.
Honestly, Jimmy's probably a better comedian than half the people we see. Like,
yeah.
You know who I miss? This is fucked up now that I'm not going to say it, actually.
No, please.
Who?
Let's
Who
talk
do you miss?
shit. Come on.
No, I just realized like I miss Kieran. I just realized.
I miss Kieran too.
I wish he'd come around.
Kieran it's probably tough for him. I mean, it's COVID. Like, you know.
Yeah,
I
mean? See him active randomly and weird on Facebook, but like it gets a little dark and odd. But like I don't know. But like,
I just remember I always I always enjoyed watching his sets. Like some nights it was like, all right, like it's like all of us where it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But some nights it was like, wow, like this is really fucking good.
Dude,
like,
I remember I had him on back when Steve and I would, I say Steve and I, but like, he would he would let me pick like the people for the shows at Ziggy's, right? So I remember one night we had Kieran, and he, I remember like we brought him up like because you had to help him up that little part of the stage,
Yeah.
and like everybody was kind of like awkward and feeling bad, whatever, and they turned him around and they put the mic in his hand, and he just sat there for 30 seconds. And didn't say a fucking word. And everybody was like, what the hell? And then he's like, the fuck are you all looking at? Dude, I shit myself. Dude, it was the funniest fucking thing. Like, I was like, you're the man from now on. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you need, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's
and
great.
then he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that was so great that he was able to take that awkwardness and just flip it right. Oh,
that's the best
you want to
way.
make it uncomfortable? I'll make you uncomfortable, and he just sat there for 30 seconds and did not move. And then just like the fuck you look at
staring at.
I forgot that
in that Kieran drawl.
I love the way he's honestly one of the funniest comedians on Long Island. Some of the stuff that he says, like I forgot what the joke was, but one of those punchlines he was like, and they call him super cripple. He's like, he's faster than a bird. Like, you know, he did like a whole Superman bit.
I mean, I'll never forget his Little Mermaid bit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's like, so I wish I could be part of that world. How they laugh, how they run. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Been there, done that, overrated.
Oh, we love you, Kieran. Oh,
Kieran, I hope you're listening to this. I love you to death.
If you ever hear this, we miss you so much.
Find us, please.
Yeah.
Come
I
out.
Yeah, we'd probably have to go to him, but I mean, I would do it. Yeah. I'll send a message.
For real. No,
I'm drunk, but I'll send a message. So yeah, I'll send a message. Well, how about that? How about send a message? Did you get the message, huh?
All right, settle down.
Yeah, I think it's my turn to take a piss break.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
this is great.
All right.
Take it
On
on.
a very special episode.
Yeah,
everyone, like a professional podcast would just pause it.
Yeah, no,
Just
I love
wait.
how there's like that. That's the thing, though. There's like just no edits.
It's just
whatsoever.
it's one shot. You
Because
know
I'm
what
sitting
I
there
mean?
like, you know what? I knew that I was just gonna get progressively more fucked up as the night was progressing, so I may as well just be like, I gotta pee, guys.
That's the thing about our podcast is that people do just get like really fucked up.
No, and you know what? Maybe
That's a good thing.
to me, here's the thing. Yes, but I think a big chunk of it is because I know you guys personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I didn't know you guys and I just stumbled across this, I might be like, it's, you know, like, I mean, maybe.
Well, yeah, you don't want to make a bad first impression to
fuck
people.
the first impression. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I don't know why. I don't know why I said that like that mattered. You do you. This was amazing. Exactly how it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like...
you two have, like, that great dynamic, all right? Like, I was saying, every time you, like, when I was listening to a few of the other episodes, like, every time Tom gets serious for a second, where somebody says something like, you should really do this, or whatever. Anything that has to do with getting the podcast or the brand, like, better, whatever, it's just Tom and the guest talking, and then all of a sudden you're just like, this is so fucking boring. Like, this conversation sucks. I think like Brandon was literally giving you this whole rundown of like, all right, you can do Spotify, you can do this, you can do that, and giving you this whole like, this is how you get it on other platforms. And Tom's like, I would think he's writing it down.
Yeah, he's like,
and then it's just you going, it's fucking boring.
It's something like we're having this conversation on a podcast, and this is fucking retarded.
Exactly.
Like it's the why couldn't we save this for afterwards? Well, yeah, I honestly that's my go-to.
But like I was saying, if I can sum this podcast up in one moment, it's basically that moment. Like that's what it is, and I fucking love it. And that's the thing, because like it's because I know you both personally, makes it all the more different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever.
We were just talking about the podcast and how amazing it is.
Is that it?
Yeah,
no, we
Is
were.
that what I just missed?
I don't remember if we were recording at the time, but what I was telling you how like one of my favorite parts about like when I listen to the show is whenever somebody brings up anything that can help promote the show or make it better, you're dialed in and you're like, yeah, we can do this, and you're having a conversation, and then you just hear Jack go, this conversation sucks. What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because I just put myself in the mind of the listener. Just like,
Yeah,
like,
I'm fucking falling asleep
I
here.
don't give a
like,
shit.
You know, like, it's fucking
Like,
great.
why are we talking about this?
Yeah,
It's fucking...
I mean, that's why I had to fire Jack Siegel because he had the attention span of a rodent.
Exactly.
Nah, he had.
That's why Jack Simmons is so much better.
Say what you want about Jack Siegel, but he had his finger on the pulse.
Did he though?
He knew which way the wind blew.
He had his finger on the pulse of the women he strangled.
Making sure the pulse ends.
Oh god.
If
Man. I mean, honestly, like, we're at like an hour and a half. We could keep going if you want. I don't really, there's not really.
That's how Tom has sex.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, we've been
Alright,
going.
we're at like an hour and a half.
If you
Wow, must be fucking nice.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
If you want, like, we could keep
I mean,
this
if
up.
you want, I can keep going. I mean, you're just kind of whatever.
She's like,
look, man, like, I'm pretty dried up. And I'm like, I don't care about that.
I mean, I'm here.
there's nothing worse than when you're fucking someone and you can feel their pussy just dry up and you're like,
Yeah, dude.
it just sort of like softens up.
I've
Like,
had
you're
that
like,
with
no.
my ex. Like, like, I've been having sex with my girl, and, like, all of a sudden, like, it just, like, suddenly, like, the friction increases, and I'm like, what's the matter?
They're literally
She's like,
starting
what
a
do you mean?
fire.
I'm like, she's like, what do you mean, what's the matter? I'm like,
You're not hard.
You're fucking, you're
no longer juicy, baby.
I'm literally sliding my dick through 2 balls of sandpaper. Like, it feels like I'm sticking my dick in a dead
Have I
chicken.
lost
Like,
my mojo, baby?
What's the matter? Are you mad at me about something?
I
Well,
wanna do that.
honestly, now that you mention it,
Dude, next time you're having
It's
sex,
like that reminds me of David Tell's got that joke about like there's 2 sides to every condom. One of them is like the her side for her pleasure, yada yada, and then there's that dry guy side. It's like, how's that feel? I don't know, like a bang an empty bottle of bleach.
oh, I freaking love Attell. Attell might be on my Mount Rushmore, honestly, just for joke writing.
No, he's so up there for me. Like I
he's
saw
one
him.
of those guys I listen to when I'm trying to be creative.
Yeah, he's I saw him like within the last like 2 years or so at Governors for the. I don't want to say the first time, but like the best comedy show I ever went to, he was on. But it was like a festival thing, so there was a lot of people on the lineup. But like when I went to Governors to see David Tell, it was great, and it was when he was first starting to work out the concept of bumping mics, because he had on his opener was, I don't know if you know who Tim Gage.
I've heard the name, but
Tim
I don't
Gage
really
is
know
a
who it
local
is.
guy. He's more out in Suffolk. He's Colin Quinn's first cousin.
Really?
But I love him to death. And it's funny. It's like for years and years, all those DePaulo shows and those that I talked about before, all those Jim Norton shows that I used to go to at Governors and Brokerage, I would always see John Ziegler and Tim Gage open, for them. And Tim Gage was... you'd like him. He's dry. He's dirty. He's not dirty, but he's dry. He's all like,
I'm sure
he's
I would.
great.
when I
No,
think of
he's
like
fantastic.
dry, dirty, I think of like.
No, he's
Sam
not. I don't want to say he's
Morril.
like dirty. He's not like, I don't want to say he's dirty, but
But he's like
just,
he's kind of edgy.
he's like a dad, and he's just very like.
Where you know what's funny? My friend had seen Colin Quinn back in the day, and he's not like a comedy fan, but he got like, invited to the show. He's like, but his opener was even funnier. I don't know who he was, but he was like talking about his son and like how he he knows his son
sells weed and he has to pretend like he doesn't. Yes, that's Tim
My friend saw Tim Gage.
He has this joke where he talks about how like he's like I hate my family. I hated to be with my family, so I tried to start working as early as I could be, so I can get away from my family. And then I get my first job, and they're like, "Oh, we're like a family here." He's like, "Oh fuck." He's like, and then I got in trouble because I called my coworker a whore, and it was just like, I call my sister a whore all the time. What kind of family is this?
That's actually.
You know what I'm saying? He's fantastic, like, but
I've never heard of this guy before.
Tim Gage, yeah.
He's Colin Quinn's cousin. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
But
why
like
he opened
he's
up
like
for
a
him.
local. Yeah, he's a local guy. He's out east somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but like I've seen him a handful of times. But anyway, so he opened up for Attell that night with this other guy, Louis Katz, who was a great joke writer too, and then Attell. Anthony Cumia happened to be in the crowd, so he was working out bumping mics later on. So he had Louis Katz, and he had Anthony Cumia come up and do that same
Yeah.
Big Mike's kind of banter.
Right.
And it was on that stage that Anthony Cumia referred to the Long Island Expressway as the Mason-Dixon line of Long Island.
That's funny.
That's really true. That's very accurate.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
you get the redneck south.
Say-
Of well, honestly,
Oh.
I would say that also you could divide that east and west, where like if you get certain places out east, you might as well be like in fucking Arkansas. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking.
That is funny.
I mean, say what you want about Cumia, and you can say a lot, but he's a legend. You know what I mean? I mean, he has a standing in broadcast history.
I would say my Mount Rushmore would be Carlos Mencia, Carrot Top,
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer,
and Hannah Gadsby.
and Hannah. There's nothing more legendary.
Hey,
No,
who's your?
what are you talking about?
Who's your Long Island Mount Rushmore?
Oh.
We're about to name names.
I mean,
right?
okay.
I know Carla
So-
Lucian.
So I have the
Bonnie.
Wait, James. I have the one that I believe
Dirty
it's a
Grandpa.
personal one. Okay.
Wait, is it
Are you
Dirty
really
Grandpa?
busting my balls right now about that? Because that was
Dirty Grandpa
Nah,
was a
fuck you.
movie, actually. Now that I think about it, the character that he
Oh,
does.
wait, now you're making it sound like I just said something douchey.
No, you didn't say anything douchey because you were talking about real comedians. I'm talking about Long Islanders.
Oh, okay. Cause
Yeah.
your condescending tone made it sound like I was
I
a
apologize.
douchebag. No, it's totally fine. All right, yeah. So, okay, no, I can go that route with it. I could totally go by, like, the Long Island... But I don't mean, like, Long Island comics like Jerry Seinfeld and David Tell. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
like...
mean the people
I
we
mean,
know.
like, we
Just, like,
see-
random
I mean, like, the
guys.
people we've seen within the last month, personally.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's like, because it's like, if I think of, like, I mean, the Mount Rushmore of Long Island comedy, I would definitely put Steve on there.
Oh, yeah, Steve is...
I mean,
Which one is he? Is he the...
Well, I just imagine his
He's the
face
Teddy
on a
Roosevelt.
stone.
Yeah, here's Teddy. Yeah.
Dude, he would have that like angry look on his face.
Exactly.
That would be the
scowl.
charm.
That scowl.
It would just be a permanent stone scowl of his face. Just fucking. That's funny as fuck.
Is it a bandana?
They had to sculpt the bandana into the mountain. It's
Who
like,
else
Steve,
was-
couldn't we just do your regular head? He's like, no.
I think like Evan would probably be on that of the Long Island.
I mean, it depends on what kind of Long Island Mount Rushmore we're talking about. I mean, I would put Steve. I would probably put like Neil, just because like, you know, he's like he actually like tours and stuff, and he's like better than like, in my opinion, John Ziegler or someone like that, or honestly most of the people I see at Governors. But I mean, I
Neil
don't
pretends to know me
really.
every single
He
time I
doesn't
see
know
him.
I mean, I've
I have nothing bad to say about him. He's great. I love him to death. And the thing is, though, it's like not even like whatever. Like I worked Wednesdays at Ziggy's for a while.
right.
Not even like even outside of comedy, like you saw this face.
Yeah, I got you. I'll admit it's
He
been hard.
pretends to fucking know me.
It's been
to
really,
remember me.
It's been really
Every
hard.
time I see him.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
it's
awkward.
fine. It's fine.
You
It's
should just
fine.
bring it
I
up.
wouldn't remember me either.
You should just go up to him and be like, "Yo, Neil, do you know me?" He's just like, "Yeah, man."
You're that guy with the
I mean, Neil's like,
face and everything.
I remember. It's just been hard for me to like get to know him because he's very like, you know, he seems like there's a wall there. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like, I
get
don't
you.
know if I have the energy to break through it.
Chip
like,
away.
You know what I mean? Someone like we're all just a good hack. Like we can all just be like go in a room like, hey, how you doing? What's up, faggot? Like you
But
know
we're
what I mean? Like,
never gonna have Neil on this podcast.
no,
ever.
I
Right,
didn't
but-
say that.
On the flip side of that, let's say one of us, like, and I mean like our peers, and
Yeah.
we know the names, the people that we've been on shows with. Let's say one of us, any one of us, makes it or gets to that level where they're like, oh, this one's a little. We get to that next tier,
Yeah.
but they still hang around. Would you still feel that way?
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
it really depends on like
if you
the
knew
level.
the person already.
If it,
Yeah.
let's say they were getting to like a level of success where it's like, if it wasn't like if you're talking Chappelle level celebrity, that'd be like, yeah, it's impossible to like
Be like
be
on
the same way because they wouldn't be the same. You
Well,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
the dude
After
is
hitting
like-
I don't even
Chappelle
mean
level,
no. If we're talking somebody like the
Mark
you know what I'm saying?
Norman
Like I mean
level.
like
yeah. if someone started
like
getting
that kind
real
of tier.
show.
Like I don't mean
he's
like
on Comedy Central. Like he's not like a superstar where he's hosting.
It would
SNL,
depend on
but,
how
like,
friendly they still were.
I was at Brandon's show last week and I saw him there. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It's like I used to go to comedy shows and like just to take it all in and enjoy the jokes. But when I watched him, I was like, I want to see what a headline is all about, you know. And I watched that fucker. Yeah, did he have notes and some whatever? But I watched that fucker do 50 straight minutes
Of jokes.
seamless, just like, okay, does he have to do all these mannerisms all the time? Is that really super distracting?
Does he always have to call himself gay? I don't
You
know.
know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You know, but at the same time, I was just like, God damn, like, that's how,
impressive.
when he was done, I was like, that's how it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
When you see Norman at his absolute best,
dude,
it's
when
a
we
treat.
saw him I saw him in Renee's fucking
See,
driveway,
that was amazing.
and he crushed it there.
That was
like
amazing.
it was fucking.
That was the
You know, like whatever. Like I
saw
can't-
him. Yeah,
Like I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect the guy whatsoever, but it was just like I was just like a part of me was just like, is all this really necessary?
Yeah.
Like you're saying good
Yeah.
shit.
Well, it's
Normally
like he's
shit like that
playing
is
character.
normally shit like that. Not really. No, he's kind of like that after outside. He's
But I
kinda
mean,
like
not even
Yeah,
that. But like
that's
his
how he
whole
is.
thing is very like everything is on purpose. Like all that.
Yeah, it's very
like,
calculated. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
very
get it,
calculated,
but
yeah.
like normally that kind of shit is to mask the fact that you're not really saying anything up there. But that's not the case with him. He's saying he's got good jokes. He's saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like
I mean,
it's-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get your.
He's
your,
not
your
hacked
point is
whatsoever.
valid.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
your
So
point
you
is
would think
valid.
that if somebody else said the exact same jokes, they would not need to have to.
I think you're right, and I mean it's all
You
good.
know what I'm saying? Like
And
it's
I
just
go
it's
going
weird.
back because
No, I
you
know
got to
what you're
remember his biggest influence is. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna quote him, but I'm saying like based on what I've seen in his interviews with him, one of his biggest influences is Seinfeld.
Of course, yeah.
And Seinfeld's kind of the same way, like where he just does these kind of jokes that they're good, but a lot of them, like if another person said them, it'd be like whatever.
It's
but
the way he
because
says
it
them.
comes in that. So anyway, like because it comes in that
You know what?
Seinfeld sort of
was that?
voice.
It was
That
like
was
my
like that was
intent.
like an elderly Seinfeld.
what's the deal?
What's the deal?
What's the
with
deal?
What's
with 80-year-olds?
What's the deal with What's the deal with these nurses?
The
They
early
hit
bird
me.
special. Why don't they want to serve me past 5 o'clock?
You ever notice when a nurse burns a cigarette on you?
Senior citizen Seinfeld.
Yeah, senior Seinfeld. He's just like in a retirement home. He's doing bits for nurses that beat the shit out of him. Like, what's the deal with Al? Look, I'm just trying to raise awareness about elder abuse.
About
Yeah.
that's all we're doing.
Yeah,
we're
so
raising.
that's the point
We're
of
raising
podcast
awareness.
We're
I
raising
like when
awareness.
people say that like they're supposed to do anything. Like,
Exactly.
It's like I'm making
we're
you
aware now.
aware.
All right, what am I
It's like-
supposed to do now?
It's funny because people are like, we
just
already.
be aware. Like, I
It's
guess.
funny because people are like, yeah, we already knew that, and it's like, well, now you know it more.
Now you're really aware.
Exactly.
Like,
It's like I'm running. It's like I gotta run a 5K tomorrow. It's like no, you choose to run a 5K.
Yeah,
It's like
you
no,
don't
it's for
have to.
cancer. It's like they just give money to cancer. It's like we're raising awareness. It's like who's not aware of cancer? This
you're
is
raising
friggin-
awareness for a marathon, not for Like people are not gonna be
You know what I'm
like.
saying? Just
Yeah.
scan the fucking code and Venmo that fucking fucker some money. Go back
Yeah.
to bed. What the hell's wrong with you?
No,
I mean,
it's
it's-
like I have to train for 6 months for fucking Sally with
It's like
no
it's
hair.
a donation, but it's also a moment for me.
Just say Sally.
See, I get to-
Sally with no hair. No hair, Sally.
No hair, Sally.
Ride, Sally, ride. Savage.
Ride,
Can
Sally.
you imagine being the guy who trains to win like the 5K for cancer? Like he
Dude,
just like he's literally trained so hard to compete, and he's just like he wins. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah. And they're like, dude, like this is not really about that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the best. I'm the king.
I used to. There was a. We used to do a 5K around this time actually for my friend that passed away when he first died. The first couple of years, we would do it at Jones Beach, and like I just smoked cigarettes the entire time. I didn't even like. I didn't even run. It was a walk. It was down the. It was like basically like, all right, this is where it starts. There's gonna be a big sign somewhere that says "Turn around." That's your halfway mark. You come back, we give you water and a hot dog. Like that was basically it. You know, like it was.
Yeah.
And it was for NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness. So everybody doing that 5K was fucked up in some way or another. And I would just smoke like an entire pack of Newports and walk like a 5K.
That's
like
funny.
it was just like that was me.
Everyone's like, this is about health. You're like, yeah.
Not physical though. Fuck that, motherfucker. Listen.
James walked down like, cancer could suck my dick.
Exactly. That's basically it.
I remember doing the autism walk because like my buddy's cousin had it, and like we went there and like they had like a stage there with like I don't know, there was like music playing, and me and my friends are like metalheads, so we're joking like as if we're in like a metal band playing here. It's like, what the fuck is up, autism? Who's retarded?
What if Tom was like walking like a guy with autism? He's like, I thought this is an autism.
Yeah, I was
walk.
like, if you're supposed to walk like you have autism,
This is an autism
I
walk.
thought you were supposed to walk with a funny limp and flail your arms around.
What's funny that organization, autism.
I like how it's like it's not the run. They they can't.
No, they
do
just
that.
don't.
It's the walk.
But like that organization, Autism Speaks, is like it's funny how they were like used to be the placeholder for like autism charities, and now they're people like hate them because they
I didn't hear this
because the views about autism have changed because they view it as like autism is a disease that needs to be cured or whatever.
Like homosexuality? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
You have to go to an autist camp.
Pray the autism.
Pray the
autism
autism
conversion
away.
camp. Oh, God. And you just pray. I mean, it's funny
Dear
how
God,
you say that.
I wish I didn't have autism. Like,
yeah, right. It's like, please, Jesus, take my autism away, and he's just like, ew,
let my
retard.
autism go.
I mean, it's true though. Like, I guess the view has changed. I just didn't know that Autism Speaks was dick about it.
Yeah, no, they are dicks. So don't use with Autism Speaks. They should have Autism Shouts, because that would be more realistic. That's fucking horrible.
Oh God, maybe you could be like autism. We should stop. We should stop.
Let's cut it off now.
Let's not keep going.
I like how that was so many premises tonight. We got on. We're like, you know what? Maybe we should.
Maybe we shouldn't keep going here. Yeah, it's like yeah, let's
we did our Long Island fucking Mount Rushmore. We did one person. We're like, you know what? Maybe let's fucking.
I mean, we got Steve, maybe Neil, but I mean, who else? Obviously, Tom Crescenzo, but
Vic DiBattista or whatever.
Vic, yeah. I would obviously it's
Who's
John
that?
Butera,
That guy,
Evan Weiss,
Exactly.
Mike Dillon,
Fucking all the fucking bringer guys.
Yeah, it's every bringer guy: John Butera, Evan Weiss, Mike Dillon,
Mike
and
Dillon's leg.
Mike Dillon's leg. God damn it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like weird to make a personal Mount Rushmore, but I can think of the ones who are like most essential to the scene to me. Like definitely Steve. Like
there are a few that I truly do admire, but I'm not about to fucking start rattling names and jerking off to them.
Yeah, because it's like we know them too well.
I mean, the chances of them actually listening to this podcast is like slim to none. But
I mean, it's like
finally,
we all like what it is. You know what it is. Like none of us are that great. Like we're all learning. We're all learning.
The only person who is truly like just a bad, rotten individual is Andrew Bergen.
Yeah, honestly,
everybody else is just a good
and co-signing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that he didn't design our podcast flyer or anything like that.
No,
that would be fucked.
That would have been awkward.
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
That's great.
Yeah.
What we had an hour 45.
Yeah, I mean,
hour
I think
50.
we could probably call it. I mean, you know what, James? You got anything to plug?
Yeah, actually. I mean, I'm telling this now in fucking, April 11th, 2021.
Yeah.
Who knows when you're listening to this?
Yeah,
in the
who
future.
knows when you'll hear this?
But starting my own open mic starting Thursdays at Dubco, Destination Unknown Beer Company in Bayshore. The mic's going to be from 6 to 8. And it's perfect if you go to other mics in Suffolk or Nassau County. It ends around the time other ones start, so you can kind of hit 2 in one day, just like the good old days.
Nice.
2-item minimum, beer and/or water. We're outside, but we're in a tent with some space heaters, and we're gonna see if I know what I'm doing purchasing a PA system. because we're gonna take it out of the box for the very first time.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure this shit out as we go.
It's like a starter's kit.
Yeah, no, for real. No, I put together my own little label. It's called Wasted Talent Comedy, and I'm now a producer, so it's whatever.
All right, you heard it here.
You heard it here first. This is it, and then I'm gonna have my own podcast to compete with you guys. I'm sorry, web series.
Everybody's gonna have.
Everyone everyone either has a podcast or is a producer. No one
it's like
just
the
does
Andy
comedy.
Warhol
It's
quote, like in the future, everyone will have their 15 minutes of fame. It's like now it's everyone will have their own podcast.
Basically,
yeah, literally. That's But all right, yeah. So check that out. New open mic, James Raniolo hosting in Bay Shore. Give it a go. Otherwise. Thanks for listening to a podcast, Orange.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say, Simmons?
9/11 was a hoax. There was no 9/11. It was actually 11/9.
I agree. The Holocaust, too.
Yeah, 11/9 was when it really happened.
That's what they call it in every other country except America.
Yeah,
it's like
11/9. Like, what are these retards saying?
Like, dude, we had to wait 2 months.
Like, they don't even know what day it happened.
Like, we had to wait 2 months to fucking.
Like they mock our tragedy because we don't. Because we don't use the metric system, basically.
Those stupid Americans, they don't even know when they're being attacked.
Hey, did you hear? It's 9/11 today.
Because it's their emergency number, that's why they make it, and the buildings look like 11s.
Those stupid Americans don't even know when they're being attacked.
They don't even know what day it is.
We piss on their grave.
I
don't know if I'm being Russian or French.
I was going bourgeois French.
I was
doing that too.
A cigarette with like a Cruella de Vil holder.
Imagine you spitting on someone's food
like the candlestick in Beauty and the Beast.
I pity you, Americans.
Lumiere.
Lumiere was racist as fuck.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think the last thing I want to say is, hey, ranioloooo, gizzedeech.
Pizza party.
You racist piece of shit.
I'm sorry. Thank you for
I did that the other day with my professor, but a quick story. Like, he popped into a breakout room, and I was like, hey, Tony. And then he just said, hey, Tony, pizza pie, what are you doing? I was like, oh, wait, that might have been racist. And I was like, fuck.
And then he's like, please don't say that. I want to keep my job.
Anyway, that's it.
Yep. Thank you all for listening to the show. James, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Fucking drop that ass.